Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here and we're live and we're ready to get set, guys. We are at the tippy-tip end of the season. Titles have been decided and there's title parties, and we've got title deciders running all the way through this weekend. It is batting down the hatches. There is teams everywhere. The arenas are open as well, so there's a few different zig and zag opportunities, a few crossroads for decisions for where to play your teams, what to do with your resources at your club now. And we're here for the Sorare Deadline Show. Of course, I am Quinny, and I'm joined as ever by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, my man, good to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Yeah, lovely to see you.
How you feeling coming into this one then, Harry boy?
It feels like my last hurrah, mate, in champ, like in season. Remember I mentioned all the goalkeepers I have and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, this weekend's the weekend where like everyone's at home, everyone's in like a 60% win percentage position, and it's like, you know, I'm bound to get the three wrong that I need to prioritize, of course, but like, yeah, you know, we've only got 3 or 4 games left, I think, in most champ comps, so league, sorry. So yeah, it feels like my last hurrah. Like if I can't win much this weekend, then I'm dead and buried, I think, with my in-season cards for the most part in champ. But last week to try and hit the streaks, so I hit the rare like number 1 last week. I'm on number 2 this weekend, hopefully number 3 next weekend. But if you're on nothing, you can still hit, like you can still get into the Masters, you know, if you hit number 1 this weekend, I believe. So I'm trying that in limited. No, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. There's a lot going on. A couple of double game weeks. Have you seen those in like K League, J League? So yeah, there's a bit of that to contend with. But overall, I'm excited. I am excited. I've got a few bits going out. We mentioned that a bit of Mr. Midweek, nothing crazy. Just like I said, a couple of tier 5s in under 23. A couple of promotions and whatever. So it's been a good couple of days. But yeah, I'm really excited for the weekend.
Yeah, and that last chance saloon to get into the Hot Streak Masters is one of the things as well I've got going on. You've maybe seen that I posted there on the week. I got myself a wee Lucho.
Yeah, I did see that. I didn't see I was watching you live, and I can't remember why I couldn't see the price of him. Maybe I don't know why, because you maybe made an offer. I don't know. Oh no, because you bought him off them.
I had to go and do details and deposits and stuff.
Yeah,
so
I don't remember seeing how much you paid, but then I did end up seeing it eventually, and it was like, yeah, 90 quid. I don't know if I agree with the fixture proof statements. There was somebody in the chat that had a bit of, gave you a bit of backlash on that, which I thought was fair. It might be not been in the chat, it might be in the comments actually, but either or. I'm a massive Lucho fan, but yeah, for the price, like it's definitely worth it, I think.
Yeah, and I think with like there's maybe like 2 types of fixture proof, I would say. And when I'm like saying it about a guy like that, I mean like see even this week, like it doesn't matter who he's playing against. Like he's going in the team. Like
of course, yeah.
You know, you don't even care about the fixture. It's just like, is he fit? Yes, okay, well he's in. You know, and that's kind of the end of it. And then there's other guys where it's like. And he's got that potential as well, obviously, but the ones where I think people maybe don't fight back on that statement is like the guys that are smashing it against anyone and everyone, you know, and it's like, you know, like they're just AA machines or decisive machines or whatever. So yeah, like I'm with you on that for sure. But a guy that can plug in and play, maybe try and put me over the top, and yeah, like you, I'm trying to get in that last chance saloon for those hot weeks. I seen your Road to Glory video that you did yesterday as well. So
I appreciate that.
You getting set for the last stuff. I was like, yeah, me and Harry boy, we're both going to hit this last run on the free and squeak in right at the death.
I hope so, mate. There's only like 16 or 17 at rare, which is bonkers, really.
And like, if you don't do it today, that number can't increase by a certain amount, you know. So
right.
Essentially, if you're on 0, if you're on like 2 or whatever, already different. But
yeah,
buzzing for it. Should be good. And obviously, I've got the hoops on today. It's Derby weekend. Title decided last week, so we're away for a party to Mordor to see the Orcs, and we're going to hopefully put on a bit of a show, get the trophy out and all that good stuff as well. So it's all cylinders go, firing on all cylinders, all hands on deck, and all that good stuff. And we always start the show off. We always start the stream off by catching out the matchups tab over on Sorare Data. And what's the tail of the tape looking like this week? I wonder.
I'd say it's very much challenger based, really. That top 6 there, you've got Gala, Benfica, Sporting, and PSV dominating. You've got 3 above. Well, if you want to include Benfica, like 4 80 plus win percentages this weekend across obviously challenger and Barca there, but that's a very much rotated Barca team. So maybe not saying they can't smash, but like it's just a different personnel, isn't it? So those Barca collections is, that's where that's going to come into play. Like, I don't have many second string Barca players really to field the team anyway. Some people have the whole collection. That's where, you could really benefit if you get the 5 or however many you play right there. So I think that there is opportunity. Obviously, Zenit in there as well for Contender. Atalanta sneaks in against Monza. But then you've got, a few weird ones. Mold in there, and then you've got FC Cologne. I think they've got a really good matchup against Regensburg, and then Inter Verona. I don't know. I wouldn't say it gets dicey, but it doesn't get like incredible. Lima, Brest, okay, City, Nice play tonight. My boys, I'm sure they'll curse me somewhere. Spartak away. I don't know. I'd say after that top 5 or 6. LDU, Everton. I don't know. I'm not too worried for this like middle pack situation. Like we're already at MLS teams already. Seattle at home, St. Louis. I don't know, mates. Honestly, I'm not seeing too much here outside of that. Top 5 or 6. That's like incredibly worrisome. Are you?
No, I think Barca are such a red herring up there as well, because it's like Pau Victor up front and Eric Garcia in centre mid, and the projected team will get to it, but it's all over the place.
I know.
So outside of that, the Zenits, the Sportings, like you're talking about your last week in Champ's also the kind of first half of the show, as it were. But it's anyone's game, really.
In Champ for sure, mate. Like top 2 are away, so if you gate a guy,
you've got no chance this week, because you're not going to get like Yamal 100 scores and Rafinha 100s or anything like that.
Not at all, mate.
Maybe guys are peaking at 70 now.
Inter doesn't have any in-season cards really. Okay, Dortmund maybe will be primarily played in Bundesliga. Madrid, okay, but it's not like Madrid. Like as far as how they're scoring right now, not to say they can't do well this weekend. The Brest fixture is obviously a good one against Montpellier, who are just doom and gloomed. City, but City haven't been smashing, have they? Really? No. There's some good scores now and again, but I wouldn't be like, oh my god, 80 pluses, for 5 or 6 players, worried type of thing.
Wolves have won 5 games in a row.
I was going to say, I'm sure Wolves have been on an absolute tear. So, it wouldn't surprise me if Cunha nicks one or whatever. I can see that.
And it's Friday night.
It's tonight. It's no way. Nice is tonight, City's tonight. So, there's a lot of Friday night jeopardy there. Monaco away to Saint Etienne, who, Saint Etienne, I'm pretty sure, Monaco, sorry, I'm sure I saw a few bits. Oh, that was it. A load of players are allowed to leave, like Chao Henrique and stuff at the end of the season. They released some sort of statement or something. Not that means anything for tonight, but same goes. Everton at home to Ipswich. You might get a nice little defensive stack out of that, fair, but you're not going to get I doubt that you get a whole 5 out of that. Villarreal at home, okay. Brentford could produce us some scores. I know United did well yesterday, but I think that Brentford game for you, in Buemos and maybe your Wisas. I expect United to score. I think it'll be maybe a score draw or something. There'll be goals on either end. I think there your Brunos and whatever.
I think Man United doing well last night helps Brentford. Brentford also played midweek for what it's worth as well against Forest.
They did, yeah. They played Forest, beat them as well, man. So they'll be buzzing off that.
Yeah. But I think United will definitely be looking at, we need to get the job done in the second leg. That's all they'll be thinking about, man. And
for sure.
Brentford will be fully focused, and that could be a difference in a game like that very easily.
Mm-hmm. Munich away to Leipzig. I know Leipzig do leak goals, mind, but it's away, so you never know. They should beat them, but I can't. Would it be really comfortable? I don't really know, to be honest.
We'll get to the lineups as well, but the goalkeeper's 50-50. So
Harry Kane ain't playing.
Yeah, well, but Thomas Miller's on Swan Song. He's on his last hurrah. And this is a game that has goals in it. He's up front. So the one thing. Thomas Miller, when he was prime and he had his maximum speed of 2 out of 100 or whatever, he was just a fox in the box, man. The guy just finishes, really so him just getting put up there against Leipzig, he's not Kane, right? I'm with you, but there's definitely, he's still ahead of so many people in that position in some ways.
Oh, for sure. 100%. 100%, mate. But Villa at home, Lyon, okay, but Lons on terrible. I don't know. Could it be another Augsburg weekend at home to hosting Kiel?
I could see it.
Hosting Kiel. That could be it. In Bundes. Nons at home to Angers. I don't know, mate. I think you're right. I do think the
Champ's wide open.
Champ's wide open for sure. Yeah, I can't say the same about challengers. We've obviously already touched upon, but like, you know, I didn't even think we mentioned Gala, but like Gala, Benfica, Sporting, PSV, like that is just a challenger heritage weekend, isn't it? If like it's just very hard it's just very hard to move your Gyökeres's and I think Boscagli's fit, Alangs and whatever, and never mind your Galas and Benfica players. We don't even get to Porto at 72%. Their final have been really good recently away to Heracles. That's probably a good little place for them, mind you. The NEC boys, they're at home to, unfortunately, my boys will too. I have the goalkeeper, of course. I'm sure that'll be quite high scoring. Fenner play Besiktas. I can't imagine Fenner smash there. Norwich against relegated Cardiff. RIP. Westerlo at home to Dender. That might be okay, but again, yeah, there's just a monster 5 or 6 at the top here, whereas in Champ, that doesn't really exist this week, I wouldn't say.
No.
And then Contender, I mean, top 2 don't even have... top 2 is like, yeah, classic Central, isn't it, really? FC Cologne could do a bit of damage, maybe an in-season, potentially. But mate, like, Krasnodar, no in-season. I mean, I don't think Independiente do. LDU, both in Ecuador. Racing Santander don't. Like, okay, Rie could do, but they haven't really, like, mate, Contender in season could be wide open, by the way.
Yeah, I think City are going to smash Rangers. But
well, yeah, your lads playing away to Rangers. Not to say that's not easy, but at the same time, you just never know how they turn out. But like, there's so many like nobodies here. No disrespect. Like as far as Sorare in season cards, even classic cards, like they just don't exist. So yeah, Mets at home. Was it Guttenheim or whatever? He'll probably do a nice little 80-90 plus. I'm sure. But we do have the double game weeks for the K League and the J League, so that's where this might be not false, but if you do get 2 games out of, because I think Vissel Kobe played twice at home, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let me have a look. Yeah, they do. So like, your Vissel Kobe boys could do a bit of damage. Maybe I don't know if anyone else in the JLK League have double homes, but as we know, there's lots of nice. Like Olsen, I think only play once. But
yeah, I've got some of them that play Monday and they don't play any other. So there's a wee bit of that.
Yeah. No, it's exciting, man.
Excellent. Now, the lineup projections that we do here on the Deadline Show are powered by Predictify. If you haven't got your Predictify account sorted yet, when you do so, you open your account, etc. You can get a global package where you see all the projected lineups that we cover on the show here, or you can get one that's tailor-made to the actual leagues that you're covered yourself, on top of all the features that comes with it. When you make your account, you sign up, etc. Use code Quinny Harry at checkout. It goes directly to supporting me and Harry Trades and the Deadline Show and everything that goes around that. So thank you very much. Urawa are on 2 games at home as well, but
they do, yeah. But like, obviously, I've got my Urawa players. I just don't know. Obviously, I can play them in Contender, but like, there's no special for me this weekend. I know there's Arena, but I ended up spunking my Essence on the weekend, so no tickets for me this weekend. Actually, I could play it in Limited. That's a lie, but I can't play it in Rare.
Would you have played it in Rare if you still had the Essence?
I don't know, mate, honestly. Like, yeah, maybe because I do have, let's call it, double game weeks for Urawa, like that type of thing where I'm not a Contender boy. So like, I wouldn't really want to play them there if I can. They're more like of my special cards, as in I'll play them in the special weeklies. But like I said, there's none outside of Arena. And yeah, I probably would have, I probably would have done 10, I reckon. I wouldn't have done like multiple because I never really hold more than 20 Essence at a time because I'm a DJ, obviously. But yeah, I would have. What about you? Are you playing it?
I'm doing it at Limited for the members on the channel. So if we get any stuff, obviously we give it away. But I'm sitting on a big fat amount of Rare Essence, Harry. And
you and Laird are doing similar numbers there. You're both on around over 100, yeah.
So they were telling me, Dad, just do it. Just do one team. I was like, nah.
Come on.
But here's we've got the Man City Wolves expected lineups here on screen. Haaland back in the picture somehow, somewhere. So maybe get a wee cameo out of him. Yeah, I've seen him in training and stuff like that, but he's here just 10%. Maybe makes the bench, I suspect. Otherwise, team's quite predictable. Bernardo on one side, Savio on the other. It's probably the main thing to watch out for. And then we've got the Wolves team which again is quite predictable for the most part. I don't think there's much there to surprise anyone, but a bit of Friday night action. So we'll be live tonight while this one's going on, and there's Friday night curses here somewhere. No one's coming out with a clean sheet, are they? or are they? Is that the curse? Maybe is it? Maybe no.
It could be a little no curse. Yeah, just coupon busters.
This is actually a bit of a 6-pointer, Harry. Villa still trying to claw themselves back into Champions League for next year. And Fulham, they're not going to quite get into that picture, but they're like Villa are 7th, Fulham are 8th. But there's maybe 6 points between them. So it's a big one for Villa. They're at home. This is their projected lineup. Tielemans has also been writing a lot of headlines this year. Morgan Rogers the same. But that's a really good looking team. Martinez has got a lot of criticism recently, so he'll be under the spotlight for this one. And there's the Fulham team. Yeah,
pretty solid Fulham team. Surprised to see Wilson's behind Robertson. Okay, interesting. It's as strong as a Fulham team as you're going to get right now. Ryan Sessegnon's come back with a bang, to be fair to him. So Jimenez up front. It's solid, but you've got to expect Villa to win that, I think, just about.
It's a very Villa game
as well.
3-2 or something.
Yeah, I think they win that one, to be honest.
Now, I get where the Everton hate came from earlier, right? But I think Everton could, if you go double defence and you manage to get this and Dye is a forward, isn't he? Dwight McNeil's there.
Yeah, McNeil. You could scrape it. Like Idris Agana is the mids and he does 40 AA. Like that can happen. But mind you, there's no Tarkovsky. So not saying Branthwaite or Jake O'Brien can't really do high numbers because I'm sure they can. Maybe you risk a Mikolenko on an assist basis type of thing where obviously just bombs down the left and whips something in. I don't know. Yeah, if McNeil's still a forward, then that's kind of fine if he starts. But he's been injured for a long time, hasn't he? So
yeah,
I don't know.
Do you even double forward?
Could go double forward, I guess. Yeah,
double forward, Everton.
I think because you've got Enciso, Delap. I think Hudson's in midfielder, but I don't know. It's not a gimme, is it, for Everton?
I think Everton keep a clean sheet.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, they're probably the most likely in the Prem this weekend, if you had to say, wouldn't you? Outside of City, would you say? Yeah.
I think Wolves will score. Yeah, I don't think City are much of a shout for a clean sheet.
That's fair. Yeah, I can see that.
It's Goodison Park's final games, before they close the place. So good old David Moyes, Everton, don't concede a goal, 1-2-0 kind of thing,
Swan song, yeah.
Leicester Southampton, Leicester dead and buried. Jamie Vardy making all the viral headlines over the last week or two with his comments about it all. El Khanous in at start, so that's maybe a wee bit of fun. And then this other goalkeeper guy, he's playing. I don't know if that's new, but it's certainly caught my eye. Jordan Ayew, again, in the Premier League still is incredible. And Southampton team is there for you.
Yeah, not much to say about that, is there really?
Yeah. Arsenal at home at Bournemouth. And this was one of my big dilemmas of the game week, Harry boy, right? And I'll ask the chat as well. I'm not going to do a poll, but just put in either KT or the other. I've only got the choice of these two guys for our team. Tierney, who's looking to play against Bournemouth at home, which, let's see how it goes. I'm not expecting anything major. Or I've got Javi Galan away to Alaves for Atletico. Very likely to play. It's a wee team, just good against wee teams, whatever. So this gave me because he's very cheap L15 as well, and I've got 4 of them, so I've got an in-season, I've got classics of XP, I've got super rares, I've got all sorts of Tierneys. So it's going to be a bit of a Tierney game week for me. He's going to be kind of doing a bit of a job in a few teams. So let's hope it actually starts. Let's hope he does at least a 55. If he does something like that, a wee double, a few balls into the box.
Surely he does.
I'll be all right with that.
Yeah.
Clean sheet result, decisive, even better, but not expecting too much. They're taking on Bournemouth. And, Arsenal, they looked... Did you watch the Arsenal PSG?
No, I'll be honest, I didn't. I've seen clips.
Honestly, I loved Arsenal growing up as a kid, and I was so disappointed at how quiet the stadium was, man. Honestly, see when they came out the tunnel, there was they were singing... is it North London Forever or North London's something, and they all had their scarves up singing it, and it was kind of 20% of the stadium knew the words, so it was kind of loud, but it was North London, it's a wee bit over the shop. And then when the players lined up and the Champions League music hit, there was not a peep. You'd have thought it was a minute's silence. You could hear every speaker that was projecting the Champions League anthem, you could hear it. And it's a semi-final, mate. First leg, to get to, what would that be? Arsenal's second final, third final this millennium? Second, at least. And PSG got that goal in the first 5 minutes. Like, they were the PSG fans in the corner were giving it big licks. And I kind of felt in the aftermath of the game that like PSG just went, we can take a goal here. And they just went up the pitch and done it,
Mm-hmm.
So Arsenal, they've got a big second leg ahead of them. They're really on the ropes here. Highly rotated. Sterling starting, Zinchenko in midfield. Obviously, the beloved KT is in. And, Partey was suspended for the last game, so he's not really carrying any heavy legs or anything like that. Trossard plays on again, as well as Saliba and Ben White. But what do you think about Arsenal coming into this? Are they, like I mentioned earlier with, who was it? I forget. Man United. Are they maybe like just try to get through this game as quickly and as easily as they can? Or do you think, they're, I don't know. Yeah. Arsenal.
Yeah.
Do we expect much from them?
I don't think you can expect the world, mate, to be honest. Like, I know that they're rotated and all eyes are on Champions League for them. Like, Liverpool have won the league. Like, there's nothing is there much to play for in the Prem at this point?
Secure second, really. Yeah.
Right, secure second. And for me, the primary objective of this game specifically is, like, if starters are playing like your Rices and stuff for the midweek, like, they've got to just get through unscathed, Like, it can't be, do they even play 90? I can't imagine, Rice comes in and plays the whole game if he starts, type of thing. 5 points, and what was it?
There's maybe a crazy sequence of events where they finish 6, because if like all these teams catch up with them, they're all on the same points,
Yeah.
So it's like they're kind of safe, but it would take something crazy.
4 games left, right?
Yeah. So it would be crazy set of results. Bournemouth, but could be the beginning of a crazy sequence. Bournemouth could beat them. I
mean, this is the type of game where like your Semenyos and stuff turn up. Like, I'm sure he said he's an Arsenal fan or something. Like, it's just that type of game where, like, in middle of a Champions League semi-final, and it's like, oh, how have Bournemouth just gone and beat Arsenal who are in the semi-final? Like, as we know, they probably rotate and whatever, but it wouldn't surprise me if they turn them over. It really wouldn't.
So, risky game to rotate for. Everyone in the chat saying their fixtures here on in are not good either, so it's not like they've got an easy game tomorrow or anything like that. So that'll be an interesting one. Brentford, Man United, we kind of spoke on already. This is the Brentford team off the back of their midweek exploits, and this is the Man United team after beating Bilbao 3-0 last night in San Mam. And I think there's a lot of rotation here. Diallo, I knew he was back in the picture. I'm not sure if he's played, if this is his return, but it's interesting to see him there. Very usable Sorare card. Kobe Mainu, Mason Mount, and support of Hoyland is certainly interesting to see on screen here. That's actually quite an unrecognisable Man United team in some ways.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? From yesterday's big win. Okay. They got Bruno there at 60.
Yeah.
Look at the comments on that. In the comments, it says like Amorim said Mazraoui is dead.
Oh, really?
Look what this. Like in quotation marks.
Where is it?
No.
Like, you need to flip to Man United, sorry.
Yeah.
Am I tripping? Where is it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's brilliant. For sure. And after that, Brighton, Newcastle. Again, if we look at the Prem real quickly, Brighton not really in that European picture, but Newcastle very much still looking to just get themselves back into Champions League after a season being out, and obviously winning the Cup this year. Be a huge achievement for them to secure that. This is the Brighton team. Probably one of the best looking Brighton teams I've seen since Matt O'Reilly's starting, which is nice to see. But we've got Dunk back in defence, Van Heck's back in defence as well. Hinshelwood has been one of the kind of unsung heroes of their season in some ways. Baleba we're big fans of, as well as we know Welbeck is in kind of God mode at times at Brighton. It's quite an interesting team we've got there. Sorry, I had the wrong screen on. Got it on for you now. There you go.
I mean, it always looks good. They just fucking like capitulate every time I watch them play. Like, they just seem to concede early, maybe, get a goal back before half time and then capitulate again. And it's like, mate, it's like they haven't learned all season. Like, they just can't seem to, sort of not go 1-0 down, basically. It's weird.
They're taking on the Harlem Globetrotters right now. Newcastle United absolutely smashing everyone in their path. Jacob Murphy Ballon d'Or campaign continues to grow momentum and grow support. This is unchanged, I think, Newcastle team again. And I heard Joe Linton is now out for like the rest of the season, maybe, or something. So Willock is in midfield alongside Bruno and Sandro. Harvey Barnes living his best life. Alexander Isak the same. This is a good one, by the way, front to back. But yeah, whoever wins this will have some great SO5 scores if somebody wins it.
Right. Yeah. I think that's the best way to explain it for sure.
West Ham at home to Tottenham, who beat Bodo Glimt 3-1 last night. This is Graham Potter's West Ham team, and we've got a wee bit more of an evolution in the shape and whatnot from the last couple of weeks. We've previewed them. Really strong back three. Wing backs are capable in this kind of shape. Midfield looks quite well balanced now. And then Kudus and Bowen up front. It's just busy, isn't it? With playing the guys that run off them. Tottenham firmly now got to make sure they go to Bodo away and get the job done. That's all they'll be caring about right now. Looks like quite a strong team that would come out again for this game. But I don't think there's any confidence in backing Tottenham as a stack. Maybe you could play Kulusevski, but that's kind of where I stop, I think. I'm not too sure on the rest of them. But Kulu, good chance of goal or assist, decent AA if he's doing a lot of heavy lifting, which it looks like he'll be needed to.
Yeah, it's hard to get behind that, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, you never know. West Ham aren't solid, but West Ham didn't play midweek and they're at home. So there may be a good outside shout here. Chelsea at home to Liverpool. This is a bit of a derby, a bit of a rivalry as far as I see it anyway from a distance. I've always seen Chelsea-Liverpool as a spicy game. Chelsea played midweek, but they played the backup team, obviously, against Djurgårdens away. They won 4-0, I think it was. Liverpool just crowned Premier League champions again for the 20th time, I'm sure, if I remember rightly. Really strong team here, but that defence is gettable, and this is the Liverpool team that will go and try and get them. Tsimikas in for Robbo is a wee bit of a hurter for me, but otherwise the rest of the team is kind of as you would expect. Trent Alexander-Arnold's returning to the team.
Salah ex-club, is there any other cheeky little ex-clubs in there for either team? No, I think.
Nah, I don't think so.
Just be the Salah show.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a weird one to predict that one, honestly. Like, Liverpool are they gonna fall victim to we've won it kind of syndrome? Because that happens. Like, you do just put your foot off the gas a little bit, and it wouldn't surprise me. I know Chelsea just played midweek, but it's a different team, and they've got a decent amount of depth. I don't know. I can't imagine. I don't know. It's really hard to say. What do you reckon that one goes?
I fancy Liverpool. I think they're just in that God mode where they're just everything's falling into place. Salah's hitting the back of the net. New contract for him. New contract for Van Dijk. And a lot of some of these players have won their first Premier League. Some of them have won their second. Arne Slot, I don't think he'll want to look like he's overpartied professionalism wise. I fancy Liverpool to still be on good shape for this because like Jackson, I don't know. Their defense is their goalkeeper. I just think they've got more weak links in the chain.
No, I can see that. I don't know. I just think it's a weird one. It just depends what way they kind of see it. But on a bit of a side note, like what Slot's done is ridiculous, by the way.
First season.
To just come in and make it look this easy. Like
no signings.
Take no signings. Well, Chiesa can't get into the fucking under-19s. Like, like genuinely, like I can't believe it because he did well in the Netherlands or whatever. But like, I know he had a kind of a ready-made squad anyway. Like he's just come into it was just like pack and play in a way. Not to say like to win it, but definitely to just compete in the Prem.
Well, to compete in it, not for it. Because
there
was hundreds of chats since like Fabinho and all that stuff is that there's like, they need to buy a midfielder, they need to replace Virgil, they need to get another striker. Whereas the Firmino there's I feel like when Klopp was there, they had a laundry list for transfers, and like I don't keep up with Liverpool media that much, but I don't think they kind of quite talk that way now after they've seen the year they've had. Personally, might be wrong. Happy to be wrong.
No, I agree with you. I mean, Charlie says they didn't really have much competition, but that's not on them though, is it? Like you can only control the controllables at the end of the day as slots. Like you can't control how bad other teams are.
Yeah, completely.
You've still got to win games of football, yeah. Like
they still had Champions League and all the cups to play in as well.
Yeah. I think it's ridiculous. Has anyone done that in recent history? Just come in and just won the league straight away, like in the Prem?
In their first year, Chelsea, I think, done that.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, I want to say Jose Chelsea. if anyone's done it, it's a Chelsea manager. I'm going to say
Yeah.
maybe Carlo Ancelotti.
Because they have
Chelsea.
so many managers.
Yeah, it's always after
that's
someone doesn't win it, and then they bring a new guy in, give him 150 million, he buys half a Serie A or something, and then
just
yeah,
to not buy anyone is mental. I think
Pellegrini at
wow,
City, of
it's
course.
is it? Jesus. But they all
we've
have
had
fucking bags of
we've
money.
had the panel team on screen if anyone wants it. Yeah, they have. But I was thinking about this the other day, right? I think Man City really, as a club, as a company or whatever, don't get enough credit for like how they've built their squad. Like over, like I kind of look at it now. Yeah, it's like maybe close to 15 years, give or take. But like they've only had 3 managers, like, and it's been
Yeah.
proper, like, if you're starting a team off from scratch,
Dynasty vibes, really.
an Italian winner to build your squad and get good defenders and shit and good work ethic in place, and then you get Pellegrini for flair, then you get Pep to finish the job. Like, kind of like if you're painting it out on a sheet of paper, you probably couldn't ask for much more. You wouldn't give it to Pep on day one, for example, or maybe you would, but I think you know what I'm saying. Anyway, Palace team's been on screen for a couple of minutes. They're playing Forest. There's a Forest team for you. Not really too much to say on that one. That's the end of the Prem. So we glance at the Prem because Forest, yeah, they're in that. If Chelsea do drop points to Liverpool, Forest, that's a big game for them potentially. And who's it they're taking on again? Palace, who have done all right recently, FA Cup runs and whatnot, but they're not going to get any better than around that mid-table zone. So it's not quite the same motivation between those two. Where will we go next? Bundy?
Yeah, why not?
So I just wanted to kind of catch us up a wee bit there, Harry.
That's all good.
But yeah, so anyway. Heidenheim Bochum, there's the Heidenheim team. And by the way, red alert, if any Contender boys out there, Kratzig is signed on for Salzburg next season. So that's going to be fun, I think. So watch out for that. Maybe a wee U23 play. I'm sure he's really young, this Kratzig, like 18 to 20. Bochum team is on screen. Excuse me. Gladbach at home to Hoffenheim. This is 3 each, 4 each in the making, it feels like. Really strong Gladbach team. All these boys love to play at home, Harry, don't they?
They do, mate, yeah. Kleidenheist, that Honorat seems to pop up with DA's, obviously, player. Hack as well. Yeah, honestly, their front four there are all very decisive, capable. Even Weigl can do a little bit as well. Obviously, Rockeric is a bit more combative, but, pops up now and again. Bischoff back for Hoff. Kramaric has looked a bit better, a bit more life in him. Statch going into midfield. Yeah, they look okay, didn't they, Hoffenheim? They've finished better than they fucking started. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Saved it towards the end, haven't they? The big one in the Bundesliga, you were mentioning it before. We've got Leipzig at home to Bayern. Van der Vaart now 90% on, so it looks like the press conference has probably ironed that one out. The best the defence has looked in a while. David Rom's back in the picture. So that means Lukeba can play centre-back. But Kevin Campbell, Seawald, I don't know. They could be all right. They could score a few goals. Simons and Sesko Openda having their best life. And yeah, with no Goretzka in there, I'm not like just being a fanboy here, but like Pavlovic and Kimmich are not like Paulinho even. They're not like that big kind of boss in the middle of the pitch to try and snuff things out. I'm sure they're both very good at that. Obviously, Gleimer does a bit of that as well. But yeah, it could be a bit more two-way. I thought this would be quite one-sided for Bayern, if I'm honest. I just think Leipzig are just hemorrhaging stuff now. 50-50 on the goalkeeper, though. Urbig and Neuer.
Yeah, that'll catch a few out, won't it? I think. Well, you don't have to risk it, of course, but some people might be in positions where they are kind of forced to. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Who gets the nod there?
I think the Bundesliga goalkeeper of the weekend is maybe Nubel away to St. Pauli. Now, St. Pauli have been the banana skin team. We know that, right? But Stuttgart team is pretty strong, quite close to full strength. All the main guys are there. And St. Pauli's team is fine, but they're playing to defend all the time. And it's unlikely this. Yeah, I think Nubel's a great shout for goalkeeper this weekend in Bundesliga in general.
I think you're right. It's weird though. Stuttgart seem to just hemorrhage themselves as well, man. Like they seem to just concede all the time and like multiples of goals as well. It's kind of a weird one with them.
Yeah, Nubel's never been like. I remember when he was at Monaco and people used to say he was like terrible and all that. Like I think he's got a clanger in him, or he had anyway, at least a little bit. So I think I'm never surprised when Nubel concedes a couple, if he gets a wee negative DA or something. It's not really a surprise at this point, This is a Union Berlin team. Rono could have a great game in goals. They're at home at Werder Bremen, who have Ollie Burke and Duksh up front, which, good AA, high work ethic, but not a lot of goals. the Bremen teams on screen as well. I think all your guys are there as well, Harry Boy. Dortmund, Wolfsburg. Feels like Gladbach, Hoffenheim, and that kind of vibe of it's two Bundesliga teams going to punch the hell out of each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this could be Guirassy, a couple of DAs, couldn't it? You'd like to think Svensson, maybe a couple of assists, that type of Benzabani, maybe get on a cheeky pen or something if Guirassy doesn't need the goals. I don't know, but yeah, Brand could do okay. Obviously, Nemeka, Adiemi could pop up. Yeah, they've got DA capable guys there, like in that whole sort of front six there, to be honest, or front seven almost.
I'm pretty sure I remember recently when we've seen Rami left of a back three, he ripped like 58.
He did, yeah. It was in like the midweek or so. Yeah, he did do well.
So left centre back for Rami. Watch out for that one. Could be cheat code. And then Wolfsburg team, yeah, no Max Arnold, no Party. Defence looks strong. Forward line is quite usual for what we see. And yeah, could be all right. Feel like 3-1 to Dortmund or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Augsburg, Harry Boy, yeah, I fancy them to do all right in this one. They're at home. They're against the team they should beat. They're still looking to get higher up the table. Finn Damon's been linked to Leeds.
I'm pretty sure I saw something today. They just signed a new contract.
Yeah, Augsburg, nice.
Yeah, I'm sure I saw something about it. Something about him. I don't know whether it was just like a praise, like thank you for saving our season, or like I didn't translate it, but I'm sure it was like some sort of contract thing. I was just going to say that I'm playing Bundesliga in season this week, Quinny. My debut.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice. Try to be a wee D3.
I can only play D3. Yeah, I've literally never played it, so I've got 3 D3s. I'm only obviously playing one, but it's a good little team. Kimmich, Wirtz, Matsima. I'm playing Muller up front, and then obviously St. Pauli's Vasilja in goal. So yeah, I'm hoping, because like otherwise I'd be playing those cards, maybe not in that lineup, but in Champ Classic. It's just like, well, I might as well just go for a bit of cash with what's left with it,
Totally. Love that.
I'm even playing La Liga D3 because I've got the Leganes keeper, the same one as you have obviously in Super Rare, and like Almeida and whoever. So it's one of them where like at this point I'm just playing as many in seasons as I can outside of Champ, because I can only play 3 Champ as everyone can in Rare. So it's one of them. Yeah, I'm just trying to spread my in season cards as best as possible.
Aye, well, good luck. I'd love to hear it. Look forward to seeing the teams when they get finished up. There's the hosting Kiel team for anyone that's after it. They're taking on the mighty Augsburg. Freiburg Leverkusen, by the way, is big Bundesliga vibes. This is the Freiburg, and they're 4th now, so they're still trying to push and get their season to finish off in a memorable way. Leverkusen, is this the Xabi Alonso farewell sequence, perhaps? Maybe Florian Wirtz as well, depending on what newspapers you read and what people you follow on Twitter. No Frimmers. Buendia looking to start this one. Otherwise, the team's quite consistent with what we expect to be the best team, with everyone fit and available. And also the boy Wirtz, Harry Boy will be cheering on. Looks good. Leverkusen score a couple of goals in a game like this, I think. 2, 3, something like that.
So, wouldn't you? I just think I've cursed Wirtz as much as anyone could. I don't think
I've
experienced it.
You said that about Yamal halftime midweek, Harry.
I did. Well, I said that before the game midweek because obviously he wasn't going to play, and then he was like, when that happened, I was like, I'm done here. Like, what chance have you got? And then obviously miraculously plays and has probably the best game anyone's ever had in their life. But yeah, with Wirtz, I don't think I can. I don't know. I think the curse is too heavy. I just don't think I can. I don't think I can get a DA out of him.
Don't worry, Harry. It's happening this weekend. Mainz at home at Frankfurt again. Mainz, if I can just go pull the Bundesliga up, because it is, as I said in the intro, this is the time of year, guys, where everything is decided. And for some of us, we're talking about titles. Some of us, we're talking about qualifying for Europe. And let's have a wee look, because Bundesliga was mad tight. Yeah, so Bayern pretty much on their way to win it. Leverkusen pretty much second. But then everyone else is fighting for those 4 Champions League positions, 5 and 6 for the Europa and Conference League. And when you look at Dortmund here on 48, you then cast your eye down to maybe even Augsburg, by the way, with 3 games to go. Yeah, they're probably out of the picture, actually. But yeah, Bremen and Mönchengladbach maybe still keep their hooks into this. But with Mainz against Frankfurt, that's like a direct 6-pointer here to maybe take one down a peg, push one up a peg, as well as Freiburg playing Dortmund that we previewed before. And Leipzig are obviously playing Bayern, so it's still all to play for in and amongst that. So expect it to be fiercely competitive and tons of goals. There's the Frankfurt team. Ekitike and the boys. Looks pretty full strength to me.
Yeah, for sure. Goals in that has to be.
Yeah. La Liga we'll swing into. We've got Vallecano at home at Getafe. This is like a minor Madrid derby, as we kind of call it here. Oh, Borja Mayoral on to play. Top and bottom for me on this one, so that's cool.
Nice.
Maybe do something with that. I can't remember how I put my second team together. And we've got Alaves at home to Atletico. This is the Alaves team. And this is the Atletico team. Atletico, again, not really much to play for. They're basically third at this point. They could maybe get to Madrid in second to humiliate them if they don't close the gap to Barca, but it's a very minor thing. So I'm sure guys like Griezmann and Alvarez and all that still want to do well, play well, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite the same as the teams that are still ferociously competing, like Villarreal and Osasuna. I think they're actually head-to-head in this one for a spot directly. And Mallorca are in the mix, Harry, for Europe. Would you believe?
Well, hopefully my Sergi Dada's on it this weekend then.
Yeah, Osasuna in 8th on 40. There's a little kind of mini fight here. Celta Vigo playing Real Madrid, obviously. Mallorca away to Girona. But and Sociedad on 42, Vallecano 41. Maybe even Getafe, by the way, on 39, or maybe not totally out of it yet, but they most likely are. But Villarreal, if you look at them, 55 points. They hold the last Champions League spot, which Betis could throw them out of. So it's not really the rest of this group, but it's maybe Betis, Villarreal that could get turned around. So big game for Villarreal at home to Osasuna. Big game for both of them for European football next year. There's the Osasuna team if you want to see it as well. High game motivation in there for both of them. Las Palmas are taking on Valencia. This is the Las Palmas team. All the boys are there. Mika Marmol, Moliero, Ollie McBurney, Scott McKenna, everyone's favourite La Liga players. Bayatech and Isugo. That's a really nice looking midfield.
Yeah, that is.
And then they take on really Valencia. Nice, looking good.
I just hope Almeida plays.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I've cursed him. I shouldn't have bought him because since I did buy him, mate, it's that Javi Guerra keeps dropping decisives when I played Almeida instead of him. So this week I'm putting Barrenechea and Guerra together and just like I'm just joining them at the hip because that's what I bought them to do.
Yeah,
I thought I wasn't going to buy that Almeida guy because I didn't like him, but his scores blah blah blah. If you were here, you'll remember. Valencia not really got much on in the table. Las Palmas can save themselves from relegation. Las Palmas are 2 points ahead of them. We're playing Atletico, so it's nothing lost there for them. Still a lot to play for. Valladolid, they are dead and buried. I think they're 20th, and they are at home to Barcelona. And the Barcelona team has got Gavi in attack and mid. They fancy FDJ to play this, which I find really surprising. But the rest of the team, like Fati, I don't know if this was a fake quote, but I seen a quote from Fati on Thursday, and it said he would get more minutes as a porn star than as a Barcelona player.
That is hilarious. I mean,
maybe a fake quote, but I did laugh.
sounds about right.
So, very much changed team. The return of Ter Stegen, 95% on. Injury discount holders rejoice. Real Madrid at home at Celta Vigo. Arda Güler 60-40 here over Rodrigo. Don't know how to feel about that one, Harry, but Mbappe and Vinny are certainly on. We're getting Valverde and Bellingham both back together in midfield. But the defence, look at that. Fran, Asensio, Tchouameni, Vazquez. Can you say second string or can you say second string?
Yeah, it doesn't look too appealing, that, does it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a weird feeling. Yeah, the Rodrigo one's weird, but at the same time, like, he just seems to get shafted, doesn't he? He's just that side piece, unfortunately. Like, it feels like that should be a main chick, but he's just not. I just don't know why. I don't know what, I know he hasn't, to be fair, like in recent sort of like, I think he's done like last 15 games or so. He hadn't hit a decisive mind. Whether that's, he's not playing all the time. I don't know, because he does feature every game. It's just whether he starts or not. I don't know, maybe that messes with you a little bit. Like if you're not the main man, like, the rest of the lads are, it's like, hang on a minute. Like I feel a bit out of it here. And that does knock your confidence.
Yeah, fair. Could be a big one for them. Celta Vigo, no pushovers themselves, but Real Madrid, like, I think after being eliminated from the Champions League, it's all about pride now, isn't it? And keeping the fans from turning on them so much. It might be Ancelotti's last stint as Real Madrid manager as well. This is the Celta Vigo team. Aspas is a real coin toss on this one. No Starfelt. Otherwise, everything looks as you would expect it. Sevilla at home to Leganés. Sevilla, I don't think they've got much going on yet. They're just trying not to get relegated, which is probably unlikely to happen anyway. But this is the Sevilla team at home. And they are playing Leganés, who are not totally relegated, but as good as at this point. and that's the team on screen there for them. And then we get
tough times for them.
Espanyol, who are right in that mid-table, like they're not in the European picture, but with a miracle they might be. So there's their team on screen, but they're taking on Betis, who are trying to hold on to that Champions League spot or take it over. I forget which one it is. No, they're trying to take it over. So although they're in the semi-finals, going to the final of the Conference League, which would only guarantee them Europa League qualification in the group stage for next year, they want to finish 5th in La Liga to get that Champions League spot, of course. So this is no less of a priority for them than the Conference League, because the Conference League is just a bit of silverware, because the qualification for the Europa League is not much of a prize for some of these clubs, you know, who are finishing 5th and 6th in their league anyway, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, strong looking team, not much rotation. 60s are around here, you know, for Isco and Pablo and whatever, but as I say, I don't think they take the risk. Sociedad need the points badly if they're going to crash the party and get Conference League or something like that. Braze is back from injury. Sucic might come back into play this one. John Martin still impressing at centre-back, but Aguirre's back from injury. And they're at home to their rival in the Basque Country, Athletic Club de Bilbao, who lost 3-0 to Man United last night. So they've got full eyes on next week, as well as, again, we talk about that Champions League situation. They're on 60 points. They're probably quite comfy in 4th, but if they totally fell off a cliff and capitulated, Betis and Villarreal could kick them out, you know. So this is a big game for both of them. And Sociedad have got freshness on their side for a change. They've had quite a busy season and a lot of injuries. So quietly in the mood for a Sociedad game this weekend, Harry.
I like it.
Girona at home to Mallorca, which is normally where you want Mallorca. But when I've seen that they're actually pushing Celta and these other clubs to maybe get into Europe, maybe Mallorca are a team to be worried about. But this is a Girona team that's expected to line up. Pretty good for stacking. And there's the Mallorca team.
Not bad.
I've seen worse. And that is La Liga. After this, where we go, Italia. So Friday night, we've got Torino Venezia. This is a Torino team, which looks, that's quite, that's as good as I've seen it this season. I don't think there's anyone missing that you would want in there. Also, I'm an Illich fan. Schurz, maybe. Richie. Richie.
Yeah. Outside of that, though, it's a good team, man. Like,
solid.
Strong. Yeah. Really strong.
The Vanya got clean sheet came in. Whenever I said it was going to come in, it did come in. So
it always comes in.
Vanya clean sheet could happen here on is it Friday night? But Harry, is that too good? No best of Europe or anything either to compete in FYI. Just common game only.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Venezia. Cagliari Udinese. This is Cagliari's team. Not much to write home about there. Eli Caprio is about it. And yeah, still the backup forwards are playing for Udinese. As well as the rest of these guys play all the time, it feels like. Parma are at home to Como. This is the Parma team. Ondrika getting 2 goals last weekend. I forget who Parma were playing, maybe Lazio or something. But Ondrika get 2 decisives, 2 goals, I'm sure it was. And then this is the Como team.
Como boys are looking good. Keeper keeps keeping clean sheets.
Butez, by the way, has been such a great trade for me. Absolutely smashing them. He's got some L5 building. Parma don't score a lot of goals, so I'm quite hopeful a clean sheet could happen in this one. But no, Asandiao broke his foot. We spoke about that last week. And Strafeza comes back in for somebody else. I forget who. Cutroni's in for Devikas. Nico Paz in the building, obviously.
Yeah.
Lecce. This Kristovic is getting scouted, so watch out for his move in the off-season. They're taking on Napoli, who are still pushing for the Scudetto. Let's go and have a look at it, because I'm pretty sure Inter Milan are kind of falling away now. Yeah, 3 points the gap. So Napoli sitting top, 74. Inter on 71. So big game for Inter. For everyone else, there's only 4 Champions League spots. Bologna, Juve, they're playing each other this weekend, by the way. So we'll get to that team in a second. That's a real 6-pointer. Roma, Lazio, but could crash the party. Fiorentina are not for that far out the picture for what it's worth. So the top of Serie A is still quite congested, by the way.
Yeah.
Inter at home with Verona. So that could be a good one for them, but they've got other stuff on their plate, you know, so lots of rotations here. Mkhitaryan expected to play this game, so maybe that means he doesn't play the second leg. Bissek was brilliant for Inter. Did you see him midweek?
No, I didn't, in fairness. I saw a couple of goals, but I didn't watch the whole game, if I'm being honest.
He was in one of those Germany youth teams that we watched, not the good one with Wirtz and everything, but the tournament after, he was like the only good player in it. No, not the only one, but he stood out. But he didn't have a card. He came from like Denmark, when he went to Inter. He was one of these guys that just randomly appeared out of nowhere, but he was amazing last night. He's a giant, and mate, he just galloped into like right mid so often, just charged up the pitch against Barca. You know what I mean? So like he was game. He was right up for it.
Love that.
But yeah, a lot of changes, fully rotated otherwise. Oh, that wee crappy tier 5 I won is actually going to get some minutes against Inter. I'm sure that'll be great. Empoli are at home to Lazio. This is a big one for Lazio, seeing that they're level on points with Roma and touching distance to Champions League. Mandas is in goals over Providel. I think he's under 23. I'm not too sure. Rest of the team's quite familiar. Isaacsons, Zakanyes, Ravelas, Tatis, of course. I fancy them to do well in this one, Lazio. I think I'm backing Tati in a big way as well. Atalanta, Harry, they were really high on the matchups tab. They're in third, really in no danger of changing that for better or worse. So, shop window for Lookman, and it's the best team around him. It's kind of how I see it.
Do you think the fact that it's away is a worry or not?
Nah, not particularly. Nah. I'm sure they're both northern Italy, so I don't think there's much of a trip involved. In Monza, after 34 games, are on 15 points.
Got you. Okay.
So they are minus 34 on goal difference, won 2 games out of 34, drawn 9, lost 23. Jeez. So
mental.
Yeah, Monza should be shop window time. Hat-trick for Lookman. Roma Fiorentina. Now, I quite fancy this for my Roma card, Angelino, because Fiorentina played last night, and their semi-final was Betis, so a much tougher game. This is how Roma look to shake up. They're at home. They're in great position right now in so many ways. Did very well last weekend as well. And this is the Fiorentina team, which doesn't look like there's much rotation there, by the way. I don't know it that well, but some of these guys are playing Thursday and Sunday, it looks like. And Roma could take advantage of that again. Bologna, Juve, as we mentioned a minute ago, it's a 6-pointer for that Champions League spot, and Bologna won't be fucking about with Ravaglia in goals, so it's definitely Skorupski, which is good for me. So don't concede 3, and we should be onto something. If he grabs a decisive, Yeeha Yaldi, here we go. And then they're taking on Juve under Igor Tudor, who, they've started to kind of turn the screw a bit here. They're starting to grease the wheels of success again, and quite formidable. I'm not too sure how this one's going to go, but it'll be a maybe watchable Italian game.
Oh, don't. It's not. You can't go that far.
Genoa at home at Milan. This is the Genoa team. Do you remember when this guy broke on the scene for AC Milan a few years ago, and everyone was like, "Oh,
yeah, he was like 28 and first pro game or something, wasn't it? Brazilian lad, yeah. Wow, left-footed kid.
Yeah,
I remember. So yeah, holy moly, ex-club might do something."
And Frendrup has been linked again this morning on my timeline with a €35 million move to Inter or Juve or somebody like that. So, again, a chance to watch out for.
When Coutinho was the boy for Marseille? Like, he was the next big thing. I never really rated him personally, but I thought he was a bit stiff, and I don't know, I just didn't like him. But yeah, he's fallen from a bit of a fall from grace.
Yeah. Just put him over there for anyone that missed that, sorry. He's on the left wing. And then we've got Milan team here on screen. All the main guys are there, I guess, SO5-wise.
Yeah.
And that is Serie A. That'll take us into France before we go to the US of A for the hot streaking. So we've got Nice at home to Reims. This Friday night it is, like you said, your Nice boys. They love a Friday, Harry, don't they?
Oh, mate, they do. I fucking don't. Honestly, mate, I swear. It's just a nightmare. A couple of other... They had a wicked... Obviously, they just beat PSG, by the way. 3-1 away from home. Morgan Sanson was on fire.
Full strength.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be honest, I just don't think I agree with this team. Like, there's no way you drop Morgan Sanson after just scoring 2 goals away to PSG. I just can't see how that happens, to be completely honest. That just doesn't make too much sense. The rest, Buonani, mate, keep an eye on this kid, that left cam. They paid like 3 million from another French club, I'm sure. Mate, he's like similar to like the French Vert. I'll give him the a little bit. That. He's left-footed though. He's left-footed. He's just silky, mate. Like typical, sort of Ben Arthur type of player. Mate, I'm telling you, he is serious. Like a very, very talented lad, and he's still really young. He's good, mate. Honestly, like frightening good if he's given the opportunity.
Scores against Rangers.
Love it. You love it. He's your favourite player now. It's Quinny's favourite player.
Lorient, was that before, I'm guessing?
That was yeah. Sorry, yeah, he played for Lorient, I'm sure. Good player, mate. Really good. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird niche team right now with loads of injuries and stuff. No Ito for Ream.
5 at the back, man.
Yeah, they'll just defend for their lives. Mind you, have a look at Diouf's last 5 games. He scored
Andy
like
Diouf.
8. Yeah, the keeper.
Oh, Johan Diouf, sorry.
Mate, he scored like 80 every game. And I don't think I've benefited once from it. He scored 100 in one. I swear.
Hate that.
Same for Bolka. Bolka scored 60 AA against PSG, Quinny.
Wow.
Look at that. Don't think I've had a sniff with it at all.
That's sore.
I know.
Strasbourg, PSG. This could be good. PSG highly rotated, of course. We know what they're all about right now. Get to the final. But Strasbourg, by the way, nobody's mugs, nobody's pushovers. You've won the super rare on the left wing, Harry, which means you know he's going to fire off on this one.
He bloody better. I'm risking him. I'm putting him into straight into under 23, mate. He's having his debut. He's going into my under 23 super team. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Because it's a rotated PSG, you can kind of think, okay, surely they can concede 1 or 2, can't they? It's just, whether he gets in on the decisives. Like, that's not. I mean, it's obviously if Doué plays, fair enough, but like, it's not an amazing PSG side, that is it? Let's be honest. Like Ramos, a couple of youngsters who are really highly rated, but still Lee Kang in, obviously. I don't know. Barcola obviously solid. But like Hernandez, Beraldo's decent. Kimpembe haven't played for like 3 years. Savinov's obviously we know Savinov, but you got to fancy Strasbourg to give a really good account of themselves there, because a lot of these players will be trying to get to PSG. So like you got to think it's a shop. Yeah, I know, but it's like a shop window, type of game in France anyway.
Oh, so these play Friday night. So depending on how that game goes, Strasbourg might be right up for this one. Try and squeeze into Europe.
Yeah, like Nice can get there, Strasbourg can get there. Someone told me that they sacked Liam Rossignol a couple of weeks. Is that right? Or he left or something? No.
Nah, they didn't.
I was going to say. Well, I don't know. Who told me? Maybe somebody in my comments after I won Maria said like, oh, I don't know. Somebody said like the manager had left, and I was a bit like, there's no way Rossignol's just walked out of that.
Yeah.
I could be
help
wrong.
us out. Help us out. What did Harry see? You don't know. Somebody will know what you've seen.
Someone tried to tell me, oh, right, he's just signed a new deal, apparently. Someone tried telling me that like he was bombed or something. I was just like, there's no way. He's been unbelievable.
Toulouse Rennes is on screen. I seen a thing with him like on Twitter or something like during the week, and he still does everything through a translator, which I thought was interesting, that he's still getting that good tune out of them despite translator all the way through.
Yeah, that's impressive, isn't it?
I've just went through Toulouse Rennes. I'm now at Etienne Monaco for anyone that's just watching along. Sorry. Did you see Eric Dyer's going to Monaco?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, on a free, isn't it? But like, it's the most Eric Dyer move ever. Like, he's just so for an Englishman, he's very much, he's very cultured after his, upbringing in Portugal, and I think that just allows you to, I think a lot of British guys like us, like if we were pros, like a lot of us don't really leave the country, and because he was born elsewhere, or, brought up elsewhere, you just want to play for some, extravagant teams in extravagant places, and I think no more so than Monaco.
Yeah, and good, well done to him. Hopefully he wins something for himself. Guys, there's only 59 likes on the show. We need to get to 88 before we get to the deadline. We're also always aiming for 100, but if you haven't done so already, take the phone out of your pocket, change the tab on your screen, whatever you need to do, smash the like button. We're rattling through the French league projections now, and I've landed on Montpellier here, who were confirmed relegated last week, I'm sure, and no Teji in the picture, so they're maybe just on no more bonuses. Don't play anyone that gets big money. No more bonus money is going out, mode, perhaps. Lyon are at home to Lens. Cherki's in the building alongside Almada and Fafana and Mikatuadze. So they're back to full strength domestically with Coco Tolisso and Matic in the engine room. Back four looks like Mata, Niakite, Tagliafico, and AMN with Perry and goals. And Lens, we've got Andy Diouf in here, Elanawi, Thomason. The fullbacks are regular. Medina, Jumaba, Gradient, I forget what that's translated from, Matt Ryan, Zanuri, and Koya Lepu.
I thought that was an MFL team then.
Yeah, sounds like it for sure. And in the final one, we've got actually quite a big game in France. We've got Lille versus Olympique Marseille. And yeah, both these teams are probably going to get Champions League football, but they both need to secure it. So they probably both would rather draw this game, which is a weird one, positionally, points wise, and whatever. But both of them would be buzzing to win it and screw the other one. Like just who cares?
100%.
That yeah, both teams are on screen here.
I don't know. Marseille are weird away from home. I don't know if I fancy them there.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Lille just don't fuck about.
Yeah, they've been good recently.
Excuse the language, of course, guys. Excellent. Now, right before we hop into MLS, I've got our little ad segment to play here. It's only on for a minute, and then we'll get into MLS. MFL Meta Football League is a football management game that takes this genre to the next level. This is an open network online experience where every club, every opponent you play against is managed and operated by another player, by another person. It's your tactics, it's your wit, it's your squad against your opponents. MFL seasons normally run for around 6 weeks, so this isn't a game that comes out every new football season that you need to go and buy a new copy of. So there's never a bad time to open your account and get your club up and running. The only thing you need to buy or to pay for to get up and running to play MFL is your club. You can buy a club pack from MFL directly and it will randomly generate where your club is located, what city and in what country. One of the ways MFL takes this game to the next level is every player you own, you are actually their agent. So any players that you own that you're not going to use in your own squad, you can list on the market for loan, where they can go into another squad, and in return you'll get a percentage, you'll get a cut of any of the prize money that those players help those clubs to win. Sign up by using the link that's in the description of this video or in the pinned comment. You'll directly support me and all the content here at the channel, but by doing so you guarantee yourself the best sign up bonuses available. Thanks for catching that with us, guys. And that takes us into MLS. Thanks again to MFL for sponsoring the show, sponsoring the channel. They've been fantastic sponsors. It's been great to see all the success that they've been continuing to enjoy over the last month or two. But that takes us from MFL to MLS, which is why I always kind of like to do them close to each other, because it's easy for me to remember with the acronyms and whatnot. But the first game I've got, Harry Boy, is Atlanta United at home to Nashville, which are two teams a lot of people have been talking about for very different reasons. You're on mute, buddy. You're on mute.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that start of the season. Like, you'd have thought it probably would have been flipped, honestly, with the amount of intake at Atlanta had got involved in compared to Nashville, which was, I know Tags F came in really, and the right winger Quisam, or whatever his name is, came in, but like he wasn't really a big name. I know Brugman came in, within the MLS internally, but mate, like it couldn't have been more polar opposite, could have it? As far as spend versus like performance has gone, it just hasn't clicked. Ronnie Darley just hasn't been able to get it going there, mate. Honestly, I know they've had a few injuries and suspensions, but it's very disjointed. It's worrying, genuinely, for the amount they've spent. Like, I can see there being a big shake up there, whether that's personnel or obviously the gaffer. But this is as much of a derby as any game in the MLS is. So if they can turn their season around in any game, it'd have to be in this one. I don't know, man. It's a tough one to say because Nashville have just been smashing. Like, it's
Even
scary how well they've. But yeah, no Zimmerman as well, which is just mental. Like, genuinely, like it is actually nuts. The amount of, like, you look at their team there, and you genuinely, I go, well, the only player I'm going to take is really Hanny. Like, if we're being honest, but people are just popping up with serious, Sorare scores and stuff, and
Andy Nahar triple decisive for 100 last week.
Mate, they scored like 9 goals, didn't they, against Chicago? It was like 7-0 at one point.
Yeah.
It's just mental, mate. Honestly, it really is. I don't know. Very hard to say what that one's going to go like. And then, Toronto, they played midweek in the Canadian Championship or whatever, lost on pens to Montreal, but there was a very much a second string Toronto side. Like, Sean John didn't play. Petretta didn't play. I don't think even Insigne did either. Bernadeschi, I can't remember if Berner played, but I mean, they're getting better, but they're still not great, are they?
Nah, not a bad opponent for them. Revs, obviously a bit meh.
They are a bit meh, but mate, like, again, them and Nashville have like massively overperformed. Like, if I would look to the power ranking start of the season, like, I wouldn't have had New England and Nashville. Fair enough. New England, like first 4 or 5 games weren't great, but since then, mate, they've just been slaying everyone. Like they just beat fucking Charlotte away.
Yeah.
You know, like they're picking up serious results. Ever since they had that, I think they had some sort of meal, didn't they? Carlos Gil brought them, basically
really?
just took everyone for a meal and said, like, right, lads, we're fucking, let's get our asses into gear type of thing. And literally ever since they said that happened, they've just been firing.
Nice. Oh, that's good leadership. Love to hear that.
Yeah.
Good luck to them. Hopefully not that much. Hope Sean John gets a big score out of that one. But
I know.
Columbus Crew with Gazdag at home to the aforementioned there, Charlotte. And Columbus look pretty strong again. I thought, we seen it last week, I think it was, when Gazdag first came in, that they projected Rossi to be striker. But it looks like this week it's not. No, we're going with Azil Jackson as striker, not even Jason Russell-Rowe. And we're going Gazdag and Rossi behind. So Columbus looking strong, but it's still not quite worked out Gazdag yet.
Yeah, they haven't worked out Gazdag yet for sure. They don't have a 9. Like Azil Jackson's a 10 all day. He's like 5'5". He's tiny. So
he's a wee winger, isn't he?
Yeah,
I
like
that.
Like,
white guy.
He's okay. But like they don't have a 9, so they're just doing that rotational sort of front 3, which is hard to pick up as a centre back. Because if you've got no one to mark, you're a bit in no man's land, as a centre half. If you've not got a big number 9 to wrestle with, like it's very hard to go into midfield and start fucking pressing like 5'5" tricky wingers. Like that's not what 6'5" centre halves are supposed to do, really, because they just can't move as quick. So it's like, in a weird way, this is working out for Columbus, as we've seen, from a results perspective. Nagby obviously secures things in midfield. Chambo's been pretty good recently. Alston's been insane on the left. Farsi can do his thing as well on the right. They've got a lot of pace out wide, trickery, and then they've got like 3 number 10s basically up front. So there's something to it. He's definitely found, and there's no shock really. He's one of the best managers in the league, if not the best. He's found a way to win, mate, without a £40 million striker. Like it's not easy to do, And I'm very impressed.
Amundsen and Shaberko are both dodgy, so watch out for that. But the rest of the team looks pretty safe. And they take on Charlotte, whose team is pretty safe, looking a lot of 90s and 80s there.
Yeah, pretty solid team. 4-2-3-1. It's just they just basically play the same team every game if they can. But yeah, man, not easier way to. I don't think Charlotte win this, if I'm being honest, or even draw it. I think they lose.
Kalina Butt's got that goalkeeper potential, but he
does
keep them in it.
Yeah.
So with goalkeepers like that, I always feel it hard to write them off altogether, because if they're going to score big, it's away at Columbus or some shit, where they save 8 shots or something, But maybe they lose 2-0, maybe they lose 4-0. Could be, it depends on the keeper.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like after that New England loss last week, that would have shocked them. I think, like, not beating them at home and going away to Columbus is obviously a completely different kettle of fish. So, yeah, that's right, Charles. I thought that.
Yeah, it's confirmed in the notes below. So I've needed this one updated and it's not been caught yet. But great interaction there from the chat. And we've got DC at home to the Rapids. Barraza getting another shot at it. The other guy, Kim, is still getting his tour of the DC sites and taking it all in, chilling out, forgetting he's a football player for a few weeks, which is brilliant for me and my cards. But no Benteke, Dominic Badgie going to lead the line here. So, don't know how much of a chance DC have got in this one. They take on the Rapids, who will probably see no Benteke and rub their hands together. Zach Steffen back. I think he missed the last game. Jackson Travis is in at left back. That's a new name for me. And Yappy is 50-50 with a few other guys up front, but everyone else is kind of nailed.
Yeah, in a weird, sneaky way, I think this could be the best 5 away fixture. Like if you were to pick a stack, the Benteke-less DC for Colorado, I think could be the place to look without looking at everyone else so far. Maybe Nashville actually, but I do like the look of maybe a 5-man Colorado stack here, honestly. Stefan, Shadozi, Mihailovic, maybe not Bassa, but definitely Navarro. And then, whoever the extra player is actually is quite tricky. But I do like him here. I think they've got like clean sheet, maybe plus a little 2-3-0 up potential, like on a really good day.
Yeah, I'm with you. Double midfield, Bassett and Mihailovic is easy enough, is it not?
Yeah, it is, but Bassett's rubbish, man. I've got his limited. He's fucking rubbish. Good player, but he's just not really in the right positions right now.
No
Maybe.
CONCACAF Champions League final for Miami, and they are licking their wounds at home to the Red Bulls. This was the final of MLS Cup last year, if I remember rightly. And
No, well, Galaxy Red Bull, wasn't it? Have I got it
Galaxy
wrong?
Red Bulls. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was Miami the first thing, but of course Galaxy won it, but Red Bulls got to the final. Anyway, ignore me. Suarez and Messi are back. Busquets is in the middle. Jordi Alba left back. Ustari back as well. And we've seen a lot of rotation for Miami stacks. Slayed everyone, didn't it, last week? It was literally every stack was DNP'd, every player.
Sub. It was just like, yeah, it was mental.
That Allende, but by the way, I seen the highlights. He almost had them in that game. They ended up losing. Who was it they were against again? Dallas.
He's good, like real good.
Looks the part, doesn't he? Whipped a free kick that was unlucky. And looks the part, like I said. Red Bulls, we have a different shape here. Do they actually play these guys in defence, Harry? We'll never know until the game happens, will we?
Well, we won't. They played that exact back four last weekend, and they obviously won. So yeah, do you change it? Maybe not. But is it a back four way to Miami a good idea? Maybe. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's worrying because like Valencia's quite attacking Duncan's okay. So I don't know whether they can afford to be that sort of free flowing attacking sort of fullbacks in this type of game.
He's quite defensive, but Harper isn't he?
He is. Yeah, he can play anyway. He's quick. He'll help out on that right. Carmona's not a winger. Like he's just like an inside midfielder. Yeah, they might just pack the midfield here maybe and try and sort of outplay him that way, which it won't be easy. Forsberg hasn't been on it either, which is worrying.
Yeah.
He just doesn't seem like he's fit enough right now. From what I'm just like visually watching him, he's just not moving as like he had last year. He'd do a few things, and I'd be like, oh yeah, he's old, but like he's still got that little like that 2-step or the shimmy. Like he had those things in his locker, and I'm not seeing it yet so far, mate. Honestly, just from like an eye test perspective, I'm really not.
Yeah, I expected much more from them this year after how well they did against the odds last year. Mm-hmm. Next up, we've got Montreal at home to Philly. This is the Montreal team. Joe Waterman and George Campbell and the goalkeeper are all expected to play on this one for the first time in a wee while. So maybe there's some stacks that haven't been happening. Verone to start up front here with Caden Clark in the 10. With some other bits and bobs in this team, Piette and one or two others. Maybe Montreal are a wee sneaky outsider here if they weren't playing Philly. I don't think Philly been pretty much don't miss a beat. But wow, when I look at this team, Harriel was right mid last week. I'm pretty sure of that. He's centre back this week. I'm not too sure who the centre mid is. Daniel Jean-Jacques there. And Wagner's back. And it's two up front. So it's actually quite a weird Philly team I'm looking at here. Struggling to get my head around it.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't watched them for a few games. I couldn't really tell you how it actually looks on paper, but Vassilev, they like don't play with wingers. It's like a 4-2-2-2 kind of.
Yeah.
No, Bariba, that's interesting. I don't know much about that Bruno Damiani guy, whatever his name is. I can't see it properly, but interesting. Bariba's not getting a start there.
Yeah, for sure. Next one we've got is Austin at home to Minnesota. There's the Austin team. It's got some okay guys in it. Eli's back. He was missing last week, if I remember right. Byro, Stuver, Wolf, you mentioned earlier, Vasquez.
Bakari. Yeah, they got a decent team.
Minnesota been flying high, but your boy Joaquin Perea is popping up on all the charts now. Kelvin Yeboah, a few other bits and pieces here.
Tell you what, Yeboah's fallen off a cliff. If you look at his scores, man, Jesus Christ!
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's hit a goal in like last 5 or 6. Yeah, they've definitely slumped a little bit, Minnesota, mind. I will just caveat that and say they were amazing start of the season, and I guess we are still basically in the start of the season. But like last 3-4-ish have looked a bit dodgy. I gotta say, they're just not picking up the results that maybe they would have liked. But yeah, that probably correlates quite well with Yeboah not scoring, honestly, because Tanny stepped up, the other number 9. He's been scoring the goals. It seems like they can't both go in the same game. It's either like Tanny gets 2 goals, Yeboah gets the first couple in the first few games. It's been a weird one with those two. Like I can't remember the game where like they've both scored.
Well, tough one for them away to Austin. Could be one for going well. Sorry, I just got kind of distracted there. I've just had news coming to me. Alistair Johnson's not going to make the game on Sunday, apparently. Wasn't pictured in training, so I've got some deadline drama coming my way. So apologies on that. We've got Chicago Fire at home to Orlando City. This is the Chicago team. expected to play. And we also had some great intel here from Nicholas Rall on that unknown Philly player to me. So thank you very much on that. Careful on Rosales as well.
Nice.
Being investigated. There you go. Orlando team is on screen there for you. That's back to full strength, isn't it? Breclo at left back outside of that, but Tuesta, Araujo probably back. The front four hasn't changed in a while. And then Janssen back in at centre back.
Yeah.
San Diego at home to Dallas. This is the San Diego team here. Yeah, I don't think it's really changing ever, is it? It's the same team every bloody week, it looks like. Ingvarsson, I think he's a change, isn't he? For the Tverskov or whatever. Oh, no, not Tverskov. Who's the other guy? Who's the other? Yeah, it's a Finnish guy, maybe. Valkarin or something. Valkarin or...
Yeah, I do recognise the name. I'm pretty sure that Marcus guy is their normal 9, but I don't know.
I thought it was a guy Valakari or something was playing for a while. But anyway, just ignore me. Dallas, this is their team. No legit. Urugide has now got Dallas cards for anyone that cares. My boy Pedrinho off the bench against Miami, goal and assist.
Yeah, great little cameo for him. Definitely deserves a start. So
buzzing for that. First time I've actually kind of seen him extended. Like I've not watched Dallas live or anything. So when I watched the highlights, he's also involved a bit. But the commentators described him more as a number 10 type guy. So I'm expecting him to play with Acosta, like kind of centrally, kind of run off each other and whatnot.
Yeah.
Let's see how that goes. Vancouver have reached the CONCACAF Champions League final. I'm pretty sure they've done that now. That's all signed off. I'm pretty sure I was listening. Yeah, I'm quite sure they've done it. They beat Miami. That was the semi-final. They're into the final. That's what I think. I might be wrong. Yeah.
No, you're right.
Right, good. No Brian White for this one. No Pedro Vite for this one. But Berhalter, Nelson, Sabe, Tristan Blackman, some good scoring cards still on to play this one. And yeah, at home they'll be buzzing. RSL coming to town with Johnny Russell on the bench. Will be coming out swinging. Full strength team. I think I've not seen this guy P all start. Somebody else, I think. Some guy called Gozo on the right wing is funny to see. Anything on RSL, Harry boy?
Yeah, not really, mate. Vancouver have been another surprise package. Like considering Gold's been out, like fair play to them. Like they've been unbelievable.
Yeah, huge surprise outfit for sure. Long may it continue for my cards. I think Hugo Lloris was one of my shouts for goalkeeper of the weekend, maybe at home to Houston Dynamo. Strong looking defence in front of him, full strength midfield. And it's just about how many goals they score, I think, for most people. This is the Houston team. Fixture proof Jack McGlynn. Jonathan Bond is in goals. Sviatchenko's back. And I don't recognise this Andrzej Linger here. But let's see how he does. Ponce and Bassi through the middle. But yeah, I fancy Lloris to have a good one here. LA kind of was a team, maybe.
I'm hoping Cengiz Under, pops off this one. That's my bet for the weekend.
Right, fingers crossed on that. Earthquakes are at home to the Timbers, and this is a tough one to call, Harry. The Earthquakes are scoring, Portland are winning.
Yeah. I was doing on my Road to Glory yesterday and saw that Sporting Kansas City scored 5 goals away to San Jose Earthquakes like 2 weeks ago. So my thought process was like, surely the Timbers stick a couple on this Earthquake side. They might concede a couple, no doubt about it. But mate, this Portland side, I think I remember telling you, didn't I? Like they're just so athletic and like they're just everywhere. And they've got goal scorers from a couple of different positions. Anthony have stepped up. I don't really rate him, but like he's rapid and he just scores goals from the left. And then you've got Moreno who's come back from injury last couple, look really good. But like Ayala is unreal. What a player he is at the base of midfield. They've got a really athletic, defensive sort of back four, Mosquera and Fori. And then obviously David DaCosta's been good. He hasn't been like Evander good yet. I don't think we really will. I don't think he's as good as Evander personally, but he is good. And Mora's scores goals as well. Like I wouldn't be alongside my shout earlier with the Rapids, I think Portland could be up there as well for like the defensive, the away type of stack that could really do some damage.
Yeah, I can see it. I think it'll be a fist fight. This one, who scores the most goals? The Sounders at home to St. Louis. This is the Sounders team. Should be a good game for them, you'd think. In theory, St. Louis have been kind of mince recently. But yeah. Danny Masovsky up front probably doesn't scare St. Louis that much, if I'm being honest. But
really,
I don't think that the Seattle team can lose this game. Whether they can win it or not is maybe another question.
Agree. Yeah, that it'll just be a case of can they find the firepower basically, Seattle, and can St. Louis not concede? Because St. Louis just bank up in a 5. They've got like 7 centre backs. Hartel's playing too deep. Like, mate, honestly, it's a horrendous brand of football. I gotta be honest, they've got no legs anywhere. Like, Tuchel can't run, Klaus can't run. I can't remember if Pompeo might be able to run, but like, I'm not sleeping on them. I think they've definitely turned it around. 5 goals away is very impressive. I'm not high on St. Louis at all right now. I don't think I'll ever be this season. Anyway.
If you have your own account on Predictorify, the yellow highlights the players that you own, and then you've got this little tab you can filter, so you just see your own guys and stuff, which is nice and convenient for when you're doing this for yourself. But yeah, just for anyone that's asking. There you go. We've got New York at home at Cincy next, so you'll see they're all yellow. They always are, for better or for worse, sadly. Tavon Gray's back in the picture. New signing, not ready to make this one, it doesn't look like. So no Aidan O'Neill yet. The rest of the team probably kind of picks itself at this point, which is fine. Cincinnati, obviously Evander and Orellano coming to town. I think players like this always do well at New York because it's a small pitch and stuff, but it's all about the decisives ultimately. Like, some of these guys could get probably 28A even if they lost or it wasn't a good game for them, because it's such a small pitch. These guys have got long ranges of passing and are quite penetrative with their passing. So many passes could just get you into the box at New York Stadium, so the volume of that could just go up quite a lot. Really strong team front to back. I'm not banking on NYC in a big way at all, but they're at home, so you can't write them off. But it looks like that with too much firepower.
They're only they're good. Like, Cincinnati are winning games, they're picking up results, but like, they're not winning by like a big margin at all. I think they've won the last 5 or 6 by 1 goal. Like, it's very much anti-MLS. There's no like 2s and 3s and stuff. So that's the only thing from like a decisive perspective. Made a massive mistake last week not keeping Denki and Oriano together with a double DA between those two, and then Denki got another one on top. Evander was the surprise sort of blank. So yeah, I think this is a good game though for Evander. I think he's prime for that type of pitch.
Yeah, I think so too. Big time. SKC at home to the Galaxy, revenge game kind of for Jovic and Shappy and co. Well, maybe not Jovic, but he's got a bit of a support cast with him. And yeah, I don't recognise this guy Bartlett, but the rest of the team's quite consistent with, I think, what we've seen in recent weeks for the most part. And they take on the Galaxy with, it's quite a consistent team as well. I think Royce is getting a lot more minutes than people have given him credit for, by the way, in the past. Not that it's worth much, but still.
Yeah, he's just all fart, no poo, isn't he? Like, there's just no follow through at all. Like, with anything he does, he's just sort of dancing around, and it's just weird. I know not as if anyone's doing much right now for the Galaxy. I'm not just going to single him out, but just because he's come with massive pedigree. Like, as much as Forsberg hasn't been that good, like, at least he does just come up with DAs and stuff from a Sorare perspective. Like, Royce just fucking doesn't do anything. Like, it's not good.
Yeah, he's raging with them for selling Jovic and
Brugman. His whole friendship group, like, they're all just gone.
He's gutted with it. But yeah, and then Harry Boy, you'll be taking us around the rest of world football. Also, we've got a derby for me to catch when we get to that, but I've got some last minute news to swap some players out there.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'll sort of fly through what I can with what we've got time left wise.
I'll say right before we do that, by the way, we've had a very generous donation from DT, David Taylor, Donny. We've picked up 2 rare in-seasons to give away. One is Premier, rare. Playing week. No, is he playing this game week? I can't remember. But anyway, another one is a Contender in season as well. So we've got 2 card giveaways. Thanks very much, Donny, for that. David Taylor. Means a lot, buddy. Thanks for supporting the show. So we need to get to 100 likes. Guys, 2 rares. Come on. We can't even get to 100. We're on 76. There's over 150, 160 of you here on YouTube alone. If you're watching on Twitter or Twitch, like, share, retweet, of course, all that good stuff. But if you're on YouTube, make sure you smash the like button. We need to get to 100 at least. If you don't know this already, Sorare only control the internet. They know you're here. They love the content from me and Harry, and they want to see you supporting it by hitting the like button, of course, and dropping a fist bump into the live chat if you haven't done so already. Oh, no way as well. Northern Sports Cards with the breaking news. All-Star has a second entry now open.
That's normal though, isn't it, for All-Star?
It's been one all week, mate. They couldn't put a second team in. Now it's just opened.
The coders weren't working, were they?
No.
They week off in France again.
So Alistair Johnston's I need to sort out. That's going to be a nightmare.
How many did you have lined up, AJ's? Enough?
3. Yeah. 4, 3. How many have I even on? 3. That's a wee bit problematic.
Does CCV come in for you?
Yeah, I've got multiples of them all, mate. So it's just kind of like ripping up. So the first Alistair Johnston that's going is for scales that I've got in limited in season. Is the classic card. And then I need to go and find a card to play into that. So it's that kind of game I'm playing now. But even those scales, is that safe? Maybe I should go with yeah. See, AJ and Vickers are my 2 safety plays.
Mm-hmm.
How's that scales there? It's there. And then the next one. Oh, right, hold on. So I've got an in season and a classic to shift. So, oh Jesus, this is going to be a headache, man. Like a bona fide headache. I had Amundsen to shift as well for MLS. I forgot about that. And then what else I need to do? I've got like a Taylor Classic to pull up. And I think that's maybe a bit for like the Celtic card. So it's in season. So in season we want, I think we want a Vickers to step up our scales. Or Taylor. Yeah, let's put a Taylor on that. No, let's put a scales. Scales.
I think there's a little glitch here where the Brazilian league's coming up as challenger again.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
I thought Angus Gunn was injured or something, no?
Just came back. Played last week, done an 80 or something.
Did he?
Oh, yeah. So I need an in season. But I could just play that in season McGregor, yeah. Fine.
Oh, Daryl DK's back for West Brom.
Nice.
Now we get into the pits of Contender. Rapid fire.
Half an hour at the deadline.
That's what I was going to do. I need to check something on Twitter. Did you win your first MFL game, Quinny?
I won my first 2, buddy.
Nice.
Against all the odds.
Really? What up against it, were you?
I got tough teams right at the beginning. My league, mate, see on that projections website, like my league is fucking tight, top to bottom. Like, it's a no room for error situation.
What's
good wee start to the year for me.
Love that, mate. What league is it in? Like what ice or whatever?
Iron, so it's like the 4th one up.
Got you.
Was the 3rd one up when I moved into it, and then they made Spark kind of thing.
Got you. Salzburg team.
Okay, I think I'm going to swap 2 teams around. Figures.
Wu Lee's back. I feel like I haven't seen Wu Lee's picture in a while. I guess.
Oh yeah.
I don't know whether he's scoring goals, but it seems as though he's back in action.
What was I looking for there? Scales. And then Ida. Yeah. Sorted. It's one defender, double. Yeah. Yeah, so I know actually if Alistair Johnson's not going to play, I know Ralston will play. It's just how well will Ralston actually do against... Oh, Jesus. I've got... Who did I have in here anyway? Taylor. So do I maybe do a Taylor Ralston team? No. Where's that McGregor?
Only one Mexican game.
Oh, yeah? Yes, I played Ralston as my conundrum now.
So what is it? Barco injured or suspended?
Oh, I don't know.
Huh. There's some big games in Croatia this weekend. Yeah, Split versus Zagreb. 2nd v 3rd.
Nice. Yeah. That's really tight, that league, by the way. Really tight. That's one of the leaders.
Top 3. Top 3 is super tight.
Okay. I think I've just about got my handle back on this. Remembering that I've got Ralston's his cover for Alistair Johnson's. I wonder if that'd be just easy thing to do, is just swap them out, but I'm not that brave. Ralston can be alright, but games like this, bookings and fouls and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can't imagine he would emulate a Johnson score directly, would he really?
Oh, Ralston, it does have peaks in him, but that's the thing. It's just not... He does alright for Scotland. He's done alright in these games before, but it's hard to just, go, aye, I'll just swap him for him, but it's not always as easy as just having somebody else off the shelf, is it?
Ooh, Velasco's on to start. Interesting.
Yes. And I've got a classic Hatate. Yeah, let's do that. So Ralston in season, classic Hatate. Nice.
You all sorted?
I think so. I've actually got one more Ralston than I do AJ. So maybe it opens up a problem of, like, does AJ do all right? Do I try and stick him everywhere? Since I know he's going to play. He can, like, triple himself. It's just that he doesn't clean sheet or if he doesn't get decisive, he's just not going to be that exciting as a fullback. But he won't lose possession. He just will not fuck about in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Rakitic. Yeah, let's just do that. I've got Rakitic in that top of the table clash, and then maybe just slide a wee Ralston in there to finish it off. Yeah, let's just do that. It's only limited. Captain Ralston. Why not? Yeah, I think I've got the balance I was after. Yeah, I think I'm just about there, Harry boy.
Love it. I'm gonna do the K League, and then any requests that we haven't done, I'll try and pop through whilst I go through my my bits of deadline drama. I don't think I have too much drama, but I just want to check up on anything that could turn into drama. Let's have a look.
Yeah, no, I'm set. Maybe double check it one more time before we get there, but I think I'm square.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Amundsen, I needed to swap out. Have you had any last minute drama, Harry?
Not like, no, not like. Well, unless I'll have a little scroll now. I don't think I've got too much, if any. Championship. I think I'm looking kind of okay. Let's just do one more scroll on Sorare data.
Sorry, guys, keep your eyes on the screen. I thought I dropped off the show there.
Barco suspended. Apparently.
That's not too bad then. That's not too bad then. Can we have a look at the first matches? Oh, is that K-League or something? Don't know what they were chatting about there for a second. Sorry.
Those are just I went through them all, so the ones that are there anyway. I don't know if
nice
there's like hidden ones or anything, but
sorted. Big game, Celtic Rangers, and I think this weekend, like I've been so excited for derby matches this weekend, so we can smash them and then get some wins on the leaderboard. But we've had such a rubbish record in the derby this year that these little last minute injury worries here. I don't know if that means it's going to be better, because it's never like, oh, I had Ralston in my stack. You know, that's never the thing people say. Like, oh, I'm so glad I put Ralston, but maybe I should. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't do Scotland yet. Let me go through all the NPC sides first.
Tough games, by the way. Since the split's on, these games will all be highly competitive. Do we risk playing Casper in D1? In terms of Schmeichel? No, I don't think we're playing Schmeichel. No word that he's around, and we've had a lot of injury news coming out.
Mm-hmm. Rangers was updated 8 minutes ago, so
Bailey Rice in the midfield. Thought they'd brought Diamande back for this one, maybe. Oh no, they're playing him. Oh, well, let's see. I thought they played Diamande with Raskin, and then rather than Bailey Rice, they would have like a Hadji or a Danilo, and then kind of like box, kind of like they did in Europe, but maybe Jandy, not Schmeichel, Casper Jander. Yeah, I think that he's a defensive guy, so as long as it's a game where he'll be challenged, I think he's good to go. And here's the hoops. So yeah, McBride's got in there with the changes last minute. Kuna Maeda still should be fine. Didn't play in training today, but I think that's a wee bit of optimization. And I think with AJ must have got something, a wee bang or a knock or something, because the chat I've been getting is prepping him for the final, which is like a month away, the thick end of it anyway. So no Alistair Johnson. Scales is probably quite safe, but again, trust he's a wild card here. Probably the rest of the team is on fitness. Celtic only really have Forrest in reserve as a winger, and Johnny Kenny is a reserve and forward. So if Jota's out the picture, and if anyone else on that page is out the picture, it's going to be interesting to see what we do up front with not very much depth there. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if Schlupp played for Taylor, so I'm quite hesitant on my Taylors, but I've played them all in the end. I've only got 2 Taylors right enough, but looking good. And I did an official score prediction on Celtic here. I went with 4-0 to Celtic, but I'm feeling less optimistic as I'm sitting here right now having to pick teams and finalise combinations. I don't know if it's a wee bit of the SO5s getting the better of me or what, but I still think it's a very good game for us. Just don't know if it'll be quite, I don't know. Nah, I should be fine. Ralston's a bricky. He'll be fine. But I need to nail these combinations.
Yeah.
Enzo Baranachia didn't complete the full session. Yeah, so thanks a lot, Charlie, for that catch. Oh, Jesus, man, I've got a lot of deadline drama.
Really?
Oh, tons of it, yeah. So I've just had to do all that Celtic switching. And now if I'm just going to drop Enzo for that Almeida guy.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't want to buy, but now I'm glad I've got.
He's going to bring back the curse now.
He's got to save himself here. He's got to save himself. And then that puts a hole in my midfield over here. Sergio Gomez can play in there anyway. Sergio, and then we've got the best option that we've not picked yet for this team. I think we've got some okay options. Yeah, Frankie was on to play, so we could put him into this team just to get it off the ground. We've got Baku playing against Bayern. Sucic in the derby. We're expecting to come back. None of these are that exciting. I think, I'm probably just going to go with Frankie on. If he's playing against Valladolid, he might just get 38 on passing, kind of thing. Just go with Sergio on captaincy there. But yeah, so I've got on screen now the teams I'm kind of running out with. This is the community team I've got going into the arena, Harry. So this was kind of best of the rest. I went with 2 guys. I'm open to changing this, by the way. I went with 2 guys in the Sociedad team because Bilbao played last night, lost 3-0. All the stuff we spoke about before. So Braze and Oyarzabal. And then to fit into the cap 260, I kind of prioritised bigger goalkeeper and defender play. So I've got Savic and Gunn. I think I fancy both of them to break 70s or better. No offence to Cardiff. And then I've got Paqueta.
They're rubbish.
At home to Tottenham. So I'm quite optimistic for the cap 260. It's all about the draw of the 10 people you're going to get, but Harry, isn't it? Who you're going to be facing.
Exactly that. Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? To contend with.
Yeah, totally. And seeing Pedrinho's on to start now, it makes me want to make him in a better team. Yeah, like this. Maybe a Pedrinho and... Yeah, maybe I put Pedrinho and... Yeah, I'll just put him in there up front. Screw it. I'm doing a lot of last-minute changes, by the way. How many minutes we got? 11? Oh, Jesus. This is giving me the fears. We should be all right. We should be all right, guys. Let's get him in a team since he's going to start. And then we'll put that Julian Fernandez in his place in that kind of last rare team. Boom. Oi, oi. You've not had much to shake about, Harry, have you?
Nothing like incredibly massive, no. But that isn't always a good sign. It either means I've missed something or I'm just toast.
Got that wee bit of worry of, the news hasn't reached you yet, but it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, it's out there in the ether. I'm just not benefiting from it,
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm at right now. But no, nothing incredible that I feel like I'm missing out on.
So this was the team I had for the thing earlier on, Galland or Tierney. It's Champ, Classic. I've got Sorare in goals, Captain McGinn in midfield with Braze and Oyer Isabel. That kind of mirror image of that arena team, but in super rare, essentially. I went with Tierney for the vibes. Galland could be a good one, but the chat backed me up on vibes with Tierney. And I've got Tierney's everywhere. I've got an in-season here in D1 rare. Don't know if you can see the team, Harry, but Boutez in goals, KT in season, alongside Kraft for half, Daft, whatever we called it, Moses Caicedo.
Yeah.
An injury, just that cheap De Bruyne we got, and Captain Cherky up front. Going
Good
after
team,
D1 champ. It's quite open, like we said, So 5 individuals, maybe do all right.
Yeah, I think Captain Cherky's going to be a popular one, isn't he? I think in that division anyway. So you're either on the Cherky side or you're not, kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's hope maybe I'm a differential because it's Classic and he's under 23 and stuff and whatever.
True, yeah.
But I've got my first ever team, Harry. I've been waiting a long time for this to happen. I didn't want to force it, right? But I'm playing Challenger for the first time in ages.
Wow.
And every one of these cards, I've called the team at Rogue Hoops. They're just all Celtic collection cards that have moved to wherever they've moved to, So we've got Connor Hazard for Plymouth. We've got Laggers for Twente. Rocco Vata, expected to play for Watford. He's in the projection. The only striker I've got is Mikey Johnson or O. They're both expected to come off the bench, so I went with Mikey Johnson for the AA. And Bosan Lawal, expected to play for Stoke against Derby, so I went for him. Could have went for Stephen Welsh, but he's been playing but not been that exciting, whereas I've went with Lawal just on the hope that he does something because he's kind of an unknown. And I wanted to play Turnbull, but it doesn't look like you're going to play him, Cardiff.
No, I won't be playing my Turnbull. Or him playing. I don't know, actually. He played well last week, but
that's what I thought. And I looked at the projections and he wasn't there.
Maybe there's players coming back type of thing. I don't think he'd play. Well, yeah, it's either him or Colwell, basically. And now they're down, they might as well just give Colwell a little run. Young lad and whatever.
I think it was that sort of guy I seen in the position for him. I've got 2 D1s in season for Contender and a D2. I've went all Celtic across the board. The only non-Celtic player is Mitov, who's in the D2 as the goalkeeper. But I've went one double forward, Maeda and Kuhn in D1, and another D1 I've went double defence with Ida up front because he's not in any of this questionable position or whatever. And in the D2 I've went double mid, McGregor and Engels. So we've got a double forward, a double defence, and a double mid play across all the divisions. If Maeda's out, I'll be all right because I'll have Ida actually. So I've done that deliberately. I'm remembering now. And then in Classic, I've got like one whole non-Celtic team, except for I've got Hatate in defence, Captain Shaqiri in midfield, and then double forward, Harry, Berardi and Henrique with Navas in goals. So that's a D1. 3 D1 Classics, so swinging for the fences.
Hatate makes your D1. Oh, Quinn.
Mate, they're all D1s.
No, but which is your best one? Surely it's the Berardi one, yeah?
Yeah, but Hatate's going to score against Rangers. Get a clean sheet.
Okay.
And I've got a double defence over there with Hatate. I think the double defence I have up here has McGregor in it. and Ida. So this one down here is double defense, but it's Hatate with Maeda, of course. You're making me nervous on that Hatate, but I'm not changing it. So
I've just never seen Hatate score. I'm just being honest. I just never seen him score well.
I've just not got that many. It's only Celtic defenders I've got, really.
Fair enough. I was going to say, yeah, have you got like Halstenberg or whatever his name is, or Halstenberg?
Out, Quatra out, Montiel out. Like
Jesus, yeah, fair enough.
all my other like non-Celtic defenders are either shit, questionable, or the good ones are missing. But I thought Hatate, as far as like Vickers will be fine, Ralston will be fine. But I thought I'm going with Hatate for that goal assist. Imagine he gets double decisive.
Yeah, if he gets a DA and the cleanie, that's the upside in that, isn't there? That there is upside, I guess, but
it's the gung ho team, Harry. We're going for it. We've got Hatate in defence. That's the angle there on that. It's gung ho. Don't need defenders.
Get it.
You know, play midfielders in there. Go for it. Limited in season teams are kind of fun as well. Wanizek captain in one of them, which is fun. Martin Boyle CSC captain him in there. And yeah, 3D1s limited in season, Harry, I'm up to.
That's very impressive, to be fair, and limited.
With backup rares.
Wow.
And then the backup rares in Classic, I've not quite got that far, so I don't normally have goalkeepers for them, but this week we do. So essence and boxes and cards should be all over the place. And see, for Corinthians, Harry, they are projected to start both Memphis Depay and Talis Magno. So it's Dream City for me. They're in limited D3 Classic, but they're somewhere.
They might as well not be mine.
I couldn't play them over Celtic cards, and they're not getting into any teams above them, sadly. But we've got them somewhere.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then, what do you think about this, Harry, for an under 23 D1? Tanny in goals, Ferry for Dundee United takes set pieces, left mid in a 3-5-2. Lennon Miller, Kang In Lee, captain, Taki Kubo.
I'd say like good personnel. I just don't think the fixtures are lovely, are they?
Nah, not particularly.
That's the
Except
issue.
for Kang, maybe, because Kang's playing. You know.
If Kang plays. What's Kubo been like recently? I genuinely haven't really caught up with.
He's been like 45 in his face off recently.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It should. I mean, I can't see it competing like in the top side of things, but I don't think it's like relegation bound. I think it'll pick up something, like whether that's XP box, Essence, whatever.
I hope so. Yeah. I've got double game week Thiago Andrade leading out the D2 team, which is kind of fun with O'Reilly, Broholm and stuff. And in the D3, we've got Van der Voort's return to Barcelona in the OG Genk kit. But it's a D3. He's playing Bayern. He's probably going to get rinsed. But I've put him with Frimmers for the vibes. We've got a Captain O'Reilly in there, a Magno from the old days as well. So he's around some of his pals. Surely he's getting integrated back to the squad. And if a promotion will be good for me. If he gets promoted, I'll be happy.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Really wanted to put him in a team with Cherky this week, but against Bayern, I couldn't do it,
There's something about those old cards are just golden at this point, aren't they?
No, yeah, you're I honestly, there's only 6 of them, Harry, and 2 of them have traded in the last year. And I thought they were 2 I should have I got, but I missed. And I just sent a speculative offer for like half the money that I did spend on it and a bunch of cards. And the guy responded with like a money offer that wasn't like I bought. It's more than an in-season current version, or whatever. But knowing that there's only 6 of them, there's an offer sitting there. I was like, I need to get money in to accept this pronto, because that's part of the thing with rare cards is people might not want to deal. If they don't want to deal, it doesn't matter how much money you'd spend on it. But the guy was up for it. I was like, fuck it, give me it. But what I did before this game week, Harry, is my last team was actually limited all-star because I just didn't have double entry here. So I'm going to delete this team. We've got 2 minutes to go for a wee bit of real life drama here. And we'll try and squeeze our second all-star team in. I think the goalkeeper needs to be Zach Hemming.
Yeah.
Who else do we have? Is there anyone else? Zach Hemming or Kieran O'Hara. So we've got Kieran O'Hara away to St Johnstone, or we've got it home to Aberdeen.
Home to Aberdeen.
Home to Aberdeen?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think so. If he plays.
Okay, let's go Zach Hemming. YOLO, let's go for it. In defence, I'll pick Ta before. Is anyone better opened up? I don't think so, yes. Or Galan. So we've got Galan or Ta.
Ta.
Yeah, I think in Ta as well.
What about that Dundee guy?
Astley?
Yeah, no, the centre off.
Adeboyega, this
Sorry,
guy.
Dundee United, my bad.
This guy, Adeboyega.
Yeah.
Home at Hibs, or away to Hibs, you'd play him?
Well, I don't know. I thought he's quite peaky normally, isn't he? Maybe not there, but
Could
like
be,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Big Ta.
Yeah, I think Tar's the play.
Yeah, he's safe, isn't he?
Yeah.
Midfield, we have the choices of, I think it has to be Danny P at home on set pieces and stuff.
Yeah.
Up front, Openda away to home to Bayern, I beg your pardon. Thomas Muller, who I'd originally picked away to Leipzig. Or
has to be Muller.
Yeah, I'm kind of Muller too. And then the last man, I had Leimer originally, midfielder card playing right back. He's been scoring quite well. We have Rafinha from the bench. We have kind of nobody else. Marino's not on to play. We've got Leimer, like I mentioned, and Ferran unlikely to start. Kakari away to Matoma. I'm going to go Kakari, I think. Who's the other?
That works.
Leimer? No, I'm going to go Kakari. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm Captain Danny P here for this one. No, we missed the deadline by a second. Oh, no way. No freaking way. No. You know what's going to happen now, don't you?
500 points.
1 second. Honestly, I was watching the clock there. I was like, oh, we've done it. And literally, as I clicked, the timer flicked. Oh,
yeah, that was.
Harry Boy, show us your teams.
What we got going on
here?
Well, we got game week 76, a couple of debuts, debut in La Liga in season D3, debut in Bundes D3, MLS in season, bits of classic. I really need to hit the...
Yeah, I like your streaky team.
Yeah, they're both streak. Like, I don't know.
Oh, you get 2 streakers. Fair enough.
2 streakers, yeah. But obviously they're playing into Miami, so I don't know. But yeah, 2 streakers and then just a 4-man with Stefan Fry. A couple of classics. See what happens. Throw them out. Streakers, 2 streakers, I guess. In limited, and then champ is where I'm really hoping something.
What, me and you, Captain Cherkies?
Yeah, of course. Captain Chucky till I die. Vinny captain. I've like doubled up. So I've got like Klaus.
Yes.
I've got this Pereira Large guy in my best 2 in seasons. Auxerre defensive stack there.
Nice.
This is the problem. I got like Lyon at home, Bizot at home against Montpellier, Lyon's at home to Le Havre, Bolka at home to Rennes. Like I couldn't have had better fixtures. It's just 2 or 3 of them are just going to concede, and it's just going to be a fucking nightmare. This is a D1 classic mind, even though it could have been it's in seasonable, but I just played it in classics. Obviously, I had nowhere else to play it. I'm just trying to get like the scraps of the Nice bits that like might just go off, and similar to your Celtic stuff where you just don't know what actually pops off in the end. But the main one is Klaus Bolka on paper, and then a little D2 with I've thrown Sanson and the Olympic Marseille boys in there with Diouf. Challengers, just a shit show right now. Really, this is a 4-man. Maybe not even a 4-man. This is the main one. Brahimi, Maro Jr. Hoping he pops off for PSV. The classic's actually quite good on paper, but we'll see how that looks. Only 1D1 in rare 2D2s, and then 2D2 classics, and then 1D3, and then just a random little fucking flower boys. But the keeper's been injured the last game or so I don't think he's back in time. And then the super Moreira makes his debut in the secondary team. Couple of double game weeks, so we'll see how that looks for Arakai and co. I didn't realize Nordislund plays tonight. That is scary.
It's Randers. They should smash Randers.
Well, you'd hope so. They just lost 5-0 to fucking the midgets. So that was not fun. But no D1s in rare for me, which is gutting. I thought this got promoted, but maybe it didn't from the midweek. And then just some all-stars because I literally don't have... I ended up playing a Muller, or my secondary Muller, in there. Biraghi plays tonight. Wow. Bologna tonight. Jesus. There's lots of jeopardy. And then just the most random of super all-star teams there with Almeida, Trippier, Jardim, Shambo, and Big Yobe. He's been replaced, has he?
Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
We have 2 cards to give away, guys, before we let you go. We're at 87 likes. The first magic number is 88, guys. 1 more like, and we'll do the giveaway. Come on. There's still 91 of these here, 100 or so. Can we get to 100 likes? That's really the magic number we need to get to. But let's get one more like. Come on, guys.
Come on.
And we'll do the giveaway as well. Somebody was asking about how do we see the arena. I've tried to check it out, and it's not loaded yet. But as soon as me and Harry end the show, it will be live and everyone will be able to see it. But we'll try our best to maybe catch that right before we finish the show off. But the cards we got donated to us by Donny David Taylor. Thanks again, mate, for the generosity. We got an in-season Jack Harrison, which is a lovely card.
Yeah.
Contract extension talks. And we got a Marco Capan. So we've got a fun prize and a nice wee booby prize. Is there a pop quiz question you've got to mind, Harry?
Like Sorare pop quiz?
Yeah. Let's
have a look.
What kind of notable happened in the midweek? We also had the Champions League stuff.
Okay, I've got a nice one.
Ooh,
ready?
Right, okay, so format. So, right, everyone, Harry's going to tell you the question. He's also going to tell you what the answer is. But before you hear any of that, pre-type your manager name. Don't send it. And then Harry will explain everything else to you. And then we can make this as smooth and as fun as possible. So just pre-type your Sorare manager name. Don't send it. And then chill and wait for Harry.
So the format that I'm looking for is just a number. No decimal points. Okay, just a number. Very simple. Hopefully you've typed out your manager name. And the question is, in this past midweek, Barca played Inter Milan. How many penalty area entries did Lamine Yamal get? How many penalty, I don't know why I can't say it, penalty area entries did Yamal successfully get? A number, obviously.
That's a top stat. That's a top stat, Harry boy.
Yeah, it's a fun little one that you'll have to get.
I'm going to guess 14.
Okay. Okie dokie. Well, the answers are flying in. Fair play. Let's have a look. So, let's just wait a couple of seconds. So, the first correct answer I'm seeing, Quinny, is Zildra with 13.
Oh, was it 13?
Yeah, you're one away.
That's the first correct answer I see as well, if it is 13. But contrast Saltida and Dobsy were both hot on his heels, but Zildra, you're the winner.
All in the same little, all in the same little cohort there, isn't it? All three of them, and then you've got Matt Harrison and Graham not too far behind, Reese behind them, Kieran Daniels, Keenan. Yeah, GG's.
Well done to you. We'll send Jack Harrison over right now. And then we will... There we go, boom. So the second one we've got is a Croatian lad. Let's just script with him. He is under 23 centre mid. And I think he's a tier 5. Yeah, he's just a... Oh, by the way, broke onto the scene with double decisive. There's some promise there. Hajduk, a big team. I think what we've seen with guys like this before, normally like Kacavenda, Stojkovic, these guys shouldn't play at the top teams. They should get a loan down, and then they become rinse masters. So maybe not an in-season card for this season. Maybe a classic under 23 for next season. Marco Capan. Okay, so what will we do for this one? That was a good question, Harry. Contrast agrees.
Do you want another little funky one like that?
If you're locked and loaded, Harry, how can I say no?
Yeah, I'll give you.
So pre-type the manager name again. Same script as before. We'll chill out and give you a second. But Harry's running the quiz. Quizmaster Harry.
I'm on fire today. Okay. Format this time is a number, but it does come with a decimal point. Okay. So I'm looking for. I'll tell you. I'm just looking for the total score of player X. Okay. So that is all around plus decisives. Everyone understands? Just to make that super, super clear.
How many decimal points?
1. So like Sorare data's. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm going off Sorare data. Okay. Midweek, the Vancouver Whitecaps destroyed Inter Miami. What did Sebastian Berhalter score as a total score on Sorare data? There was 3 decisives. And then his all-around score. What is the combined amount?
Oh, that's a great question. He's been on it, man, hasn't he?
He's been the
His
main
first
man.
ever 1 of 100, and I wish I kept it. It was a big head.
No way.
Yeah, I wish I kept it.
Said
It's such an easy card to throw away. A 1 of American guy,
at the time, yeah, 100%.
Make a bit of money on that. I've got the correct answer here, Harry. Is 88.4. Do you concur?
You are correct. Yep.
So the first one is actually
Oh,
Sildrax.
Sildrax is on fire, by the way.
But we're going to roll that past Sildrax, of course.
Yeah.
And the next one I've got, it's kind of
I've
moving
got
on in the chat. I've got. Oh yeah, Jonathan. Yes, I've got Jonathan as well. 88.4. Congratulations.
Basically the same time, you know.
Oh yeah,
that's not too far away. Graham again. Kieran Daniels. Keenan again.
Gargy.
David. Yeah. Big Jonathan. Love that.
Fast off the mark there.
Yeah.
You done against Capan. Congratulations, mate. Hope you're keeping well. Capan. There we go. Awesome. Thanks to David Taylor for the donations. Thanks again to all the guys that have been in the live chat supporting the show, smashing that like button, of course, and getting ready. We've got a big Friday, actually. I didn't realize how big it was for football on the telly, but we'll be live tonight for a wee bit of Go Fuck Friday action. We'll be watching some Friday night curses coming in and just shooting the breeze on everything that's going to happen this week and anything in between. Thanks everyone that's joined the show. Harry, it's been an absolute pleasure, my man. Good luck this weekend.
Absolute pleasure as usual, mate. Massive good luck everyone at home, and just pray for those just starting players and 90s and above, please, for captains.
Fingers crossed, everyone. Good luck, and we'll catch you on the next one.